Hey, G. I'm going to stay on mute because I'm driving.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, She. Hey, Monique. Hey, Sherry.
Hello.
Hey, Leslie.
Hey.
Who else? Hey, Comfort. Hey, is it Taju? Let me turn this down.
Taju, yes.
Taju, greetings, love.
Thank you.
Who else is here? Crystal. Hi there, dear. Hey, Candace. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all know I'm listening to y'all homework. Did y'all get y'all homework? What y'all was supposed to work on? So y'all been listening to Move all day? I know y'all ain't tired of it yet.
I listened to it once. I ain't get into the groove.
One time? You gotta listen to more than once, baby. More than once, okay? So welcome to class, guys. I'm so glad y'all are here. Where is Marcel, Leslie? Is he in there with you?
No, but I just reminded him.
Okay. Because, you know, he always be talking about, you know, not being on time and him missing stuff. So, yes, I'm glad you guys are here. It's going to be a great class. And look who's loading in now, Marcel. It's going to be a great class. Hopefully you guys did your homework and y'all brought your notes to class, meaning the things that I was asking you guys about, like where is your Pluto energy? Where is your Aries energy? Like all of that we're going to talk about. So as we're going through each part, I'm going to ask you guys again to put in the chat like where your placements are, right? Because this is what you're going to need to study. Not just, you know, after we get off the phone, of course, I'm going to give y'all some more homework for y'all to do to actually take this energy and kind of make it your ritual for the week, right? So if you know what you're looking at, you know what you're looking for, it's just going to allow you to be more synergized with what it is that we're working on, okay? Especially for this amazing Pluto and Aquarius energy. Now, I know most of the Aquarius or most of the astrologers are running around here with their head cut off like, oh my God, it's but if you know, like I know, right? If you're ready for the new world, if you're ready to jump from this 3D reality to this 6D reality and really get into the world that we all came here for, because this is a part of it, okay? This energy we stepping into, this is really why we're here. You know what I'm saying? To get into the new world and not be afraid of it, okay? So we're gonna be talking about some things today. You know, we're gonna be talking about AI. We're gonna be talking about a lot of these, you know, the aliens and them shooting down the balloons. All this stuff is Pluto in Aquarius, as well as a lot of rebellion. So it's gonna be a lot of rebellious energy you're gonna see over the next course of the next 18 years. A lot of our structures and things are just changing. Okay, so it's time for us, instead of us being afraid of these things, to talk about what role do we play. What part do we play in this huge shift, and how can we prepare ourselves for it? Not just prepare ourselves for it, especially if you got children, okay? Prepare your kids for it, okay? And if you got elders in your life, you still got your parents around and they're over the age of 60, how can you prepare them? Because they are really afraid about what's happening, right? So the more we talk about our placement or how we are going to really take this on and make this a part of ourselves, the easier it's going to be for you to be a leader, right, in this regard. And that's how the whole Aries is going to come in. So we're going to start out talking about the new moon in Aries and how that energy is segue into this Pluto and Aquarius, okay? Not only that, we got the nodes are shifting this in the summer, so it's just a lot going on. So we're just gonna talk about it piece by piece, and of course, when we get to the end, depending on what the time looks like, because I don't want to keep y'all too long, if y'all have questions for me based on your chart, we can get into it, okay? So if you want to stay, please stick around. Especially if you know you're going to have questions about how you need to specifically study and how you need to specifically apply it, stay to the end of class so that I can talk to you directly about what it is that you need to be looking at, okay? All right. Hey, Marla. See you coming in. Hey. All right. So let me pull this up. Share my screen. All right. So y'all know we're gonna start with the basics all the time. No matter what we're looking at, we have to look at the basics, okay? So let's look at, since we're gonna start off talking with the new moon in Aries, we're going to start off talking about Aries, the qualities of Aries, okay? And how this segues into your chart. So anytime we're talking about Aries, which is my favorite sign, if y'all don't know, I'm an Aries. Ha 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 ha. It is the baby of the zodiac. It is the beginning of all of this. So when we're talking about astrology, we're talking about what kicks off all of this stuff. Aries is the kicker, okay? Aries is the fire. It is the cardinal energy, one of the 4 of the cardinal energies. It has everything to do with Mars. So that's why I told you guys to listen to the song by Beyonce, because Mars is responsible for your movement, okay? So if you ever want to know what role that Mars plays in your life, it is to get you from point A to point B. If you're trying to go wherever you're trying to get to, the Mars dynamic is how you're going to get there. If you're having a hard time and you feel like there's stumbling blocks in your way or you feel stuck, all of that is Mars conversation, okay? So in order for us to process how we're going to move into this new world as it relates to the Pluto and Aquarius energy, Aries is playing a major part. Not only is it playing a major part, just looking at some of the qualities of it. So we're looking at the positive sides of Aries. We're looking at the energy. We're looking at the courageous vibration. It's bold, it's eager, it's the enthusiastic person, it's the daring energy, it's the pioneer. So a lot of the starts to things come through Aries. So let me give y'all a visual. When you are looking at highways and how you travel, that's an Aries vibration. What I mean is, in order for us to have the highways, it had to be a thought first. It had to be I think we could put this highway here and go through there, right? And even though it may not have been something that was seen before, Aries' job is to make sure that we are pioneering and starting new things. So a lot of this stuff that we're going to have to step into for this new world is going to be you not being afraid to start stuff, start new things and pioneer the way, right? Even if people don't come along with you. One of the hardest things that I see that Aries vibrations, no matter where it is in your chart, is having an issue with support, okay? So let me go ahead and dispel that right now. Wherever Aries is in your chart, okay? So as a matter of fact, type in the chat room where you have your Aries placements right now. Wherever you have Aries in your chart is where you sometimes struggle to have support. But the reasons why you struggle to have support is because Aries is supposed to first have the plan of action. You're supposed to show up with the details. We're going to do this. It's going to go left and right. You're supposed to have everything all together. And when you do and you initiate yourself, all the support comes, okay? So a lot of times I find, especially a lot of my Aries clients, the number one thing they come in is like, oh, I got all these gifts and all these ideas, but I don't have nobody to help me. You're not going to have nobody to help you at first, because the universe wants to see if you are serious about it, okay? So a lot of these things that you're going to need to do in the new world, you're not going to have help up at first. You're not going to have support at first, okay? So it's your job to be clear about your vision, be clear about what it is that you want, need, and desire, have the details together. And once you initiate it, you put it out there, you say, I'm releasing this, then people be like, oh, now I see what you're talking about. Now I can help you. Without any plans of action, without you starting it first, nobody knows what you're talking about, because Aries is so out there. It's such a visionary in such a way that it's almost hard to even comprehend what you are talking about. So you have to make sure that you know what you are talking about, know the plans of action first, put it out there, and then your team will show up, okay? So just to put that in the vibration. So as we're talking about this new moon energy and how we're going to segue, I want you to understand that it's your job in your Aries placements to initiate first before somebody is going to help you, okay? Or if you even find yourself saying, I struggle with support. I don't know why people won't help me. That's why I posted the video. I don't know if you guys are following me on IG or Facebook, but I posted a video on Facebook about people saying, oh, you know what? I'm having a hard time. The people who love me, my friends and family, are not supporting me. That was me talking about this moon in Aries. So a lot of the posts that I'll make that you guys will see me make is because I am leaning on what the aspects are. So whatever the energy is, I'm going to be posting about that, okay? Or what the vibration is that we need to work on, I'm going to be posting about that. So right now we need to work on your own internal support. You need to work on you showing up for you, okay? And if you show up for you, I promise you, you'll get everything you need once you do that, okay? Now, the negative side, besides the fact of saying that you don't have no support, is sometimes feeling jealous, okay? Or sometimes feeling like, you know what I'm saying, you want to be a little aggressive. A lot of this comes from that same aspect I just talked about, which is sometimes when you feel like you deserve the support or supposed to have support and it's not there, you can be mean, okay? So wherever your Aries placements are, you can be a mean person, okay? You can be irritating too, which is okay. It can be useful, okay? So when you feel irritated, especially in these next couple of weeks, because we're moving into the Aries vibration, wherever you have Aries in your chart is what's going to be pushed on the most, okay? It's going to be pressed on the most. Why? Because it's where you need to tighten up. It's where you need to show more belief in yourself and more of that energy of being the pioneer for certain things, okay? Some of the things that go along with it as well, if you just kind of want to know like a metal that you want to kind of tap into, iron is the metal of Aries. The polar opposite to Aries is Libra. Okay, so meaning that when we're talking about polar opposite on the wheel, we're talking about exactly across. So if Aries is the first placement, if you drew a line directly across on the other side of the wheel, Libra is on the other side of that. Okay, or what I like to call the mirror reflections. Okay, so Libra is the mirror reflection to Aries. Another way to look at it, when you are in your negative side of your Aries vibration, you are being a Libra, okay? And vice versa. Wherever your Libra placements are, where you're supposed to be balancing out things, when you are not balanced, you are an Aries, okay? So that's something to keep in mind, because when you get out of balance as an Aries and start to lean more into that Libra vibration, you don't make a move. You keep going back and forth, back and forth. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on, or I don't know what I need to do. That's because you're not strong in your Aries placement, and it's making you teeter-totter. It's making you be on the scales to try to weigh it out so that you can get strong enough to initiate, okay? So the Aries energy is all about initiation, okay? All right, so when we start to segue this energy into the moon in Aries, now taking that same principle of all the things I just said with Aries, and now we're applying it to the moon vibration. What is the moon vibration? Emotions, okay? So understand that as we go into from now until the 21st, so we're going to be the moon in Aries is going to take place on the 21st at exactly 1:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending on where you are, you can kind of manipulate the time, but it's going to be 1:23 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be at 0 degrees. Now, I like numerology too. I thought it was just a beautiful thing for it to be at 0 degrees, and the time that it's going to be in the fullness of the new moon is 1, 2, 3. Do y'all see that? So 0 degree, 1, 2, 3. Do y'all see these alignments and what's happening? How the universe is trying to give you the indication that it's go time. Anytime we have any transit that is at 0 degree, it's at its purest form. It's at the beginning. So it's a clean slate. So if you're looking at how we're going to kick off into the spring, because this energy is kicking us off into the spring, we are now right now in the whole spring equinox energy. So when this new moon kicks in, it's going to literally be brand new. So that means all the stuff that you may have been dealing with in 2022 makes its final wrap on the 21st. Okay, so even though I know we celebrate the new year on January 1st, which as we should for several different reasons, the fullness of the zodiac doesn't call the new year until spring comes. Okay, so because this is now the technical new year as it relates to the astrological energy, you are starting off brand new. So don't bring none of that stuff that you have been dealing with for your entire life up until the 21st. Don't carry this over. I need y'all to let it go, okay? If you didn't come to my last class, we talked about that. We talked about how to completely release all these things. I gave y'all a ritual and things to do. So if you did not come to the last class, let me go ahead and give you one real quick. Before you start to work on this spring energy, I want you to spend some time tonight making a list on all of the things that you have, but that you still are holding on to. I want you to also make a list of the people who you want to offer forgiveness, okay? Now, before y'all get mad at me, so they don't deserve forgiveness. I know Aries is coming up, so it's going to make you a little aggressive, like I just said. Understand that the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you, so that you can let go of it, okay? You can completely cut the cord as it relates to the heaviness that you're holding on to in these relationships. Because if you carry this over into this newness of the spring, you're going to create more of it. Why is that? Because the universe feels like you need to learn the lesson. You need to learn the lesson of how to let go of things, okay? It's outdated. It's time to release it. So spend some time when we immediately get off of this call, spend some time releasing the vibration surrounding a lot of the things that may have happened to you within the last however old you are. Spend some time releasing those things, okay? If it's your parents, especially if it's around friends and community, like you definitely need to let that go, because our new theme as we step into this is all about friends and community, okay? So because that's the case, you want to completely, again, rid yourself of all these unnecessary attachments that you have that are not serving you. Start with that, okay? Now, as we move into, again, the moon and energies, all the emotions. So this emotional energy of Aries that's taking us at the 0 degree. One of the things I want you guys to also keep in mind that anything that's between 0 and 10 degrees is elementary school. So it's very new learning. It's very new in the mind, okay? So a lot of your emotions as it relates to all this stuff that you're feeling can be a little overwhelming. It could be a little intense too. And the reason why is because it's the newness, right? You've never been in this time and place in your life before. And because you haven't, a lot of things are changing. A lot of people are falling off in your life. Your jobs are changing. You're moving into new places. It's a lot of newness happening. But I have to just, for 1 second, just let you guys know it's happening because this is what you've been praying for, or what you've been manifesting, what you've been asking for. I know it may look a little crazy on the way to it, but this is what you requested. And because this is the case, a lot of emotions are going to be really high next week, okay? On top of the fact of the moon in Aries, understand that anytime we're talking about Aries, we're also talking about Mars. So I want you to put in the chat room, where is your Mars? Where is your Mars sign? Okay. Now, with this being about Mars vibration, right? Because Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars right now is currently in the sign of Gemini. So wherever you also have your Gemini placements, this energy is also going to speak there too. So it's not just moon and Aries, it's moon and Aries and the conversation of Mars and Gemini, okay? Now, Mars is going to be wrapping up its whole thing in Gemini on the 25th, which is my birthday, next Saturday, and it's going to be moving into the sign of Cancer, okay? So meaning a lot of this back and forth stuff that you've been feeling or feeling a little distracted when it comes down to how you're going to make these moves is getting ready to change. So it's going to kick off first as being very emotional, very irritating, very disturbing in a lot of places because you feel like you are unclear on what's happening, what is going on in my life. And then after the 25th, you're going to get that spark again of it's time to move. It's time to go. Why? Because Mars in Cancer does like to move, sometimes too quick, kind of like how Mars in Aries is, okay? It's still that cardinal vibration that it wants to move. So a lot of the vibration that you're going to feel leading up until Saturday or after Saturday is going to still be a little back and forth energy until you get to the vibration of Mars moving into Cancer. So all of this conversation is happening at the same time. So you're going to study all of that. You're going to study where your Aries placements are, right? As well as where is this energy of Gemini vibration? Where is this Mars and Gemini currently speaking to you in your chart? Okay. Let me go to the chat room. Let me see what y'all wrote. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, Mars in Aries in the 4th. Okay, that's good. Aries in the 4th, Aries in the 7th. Okay, fourth house, Aries, rising in Venus, the Mercury in Aries, Jupiter in Aries, Aries in the first. What if I have nothing in my Aries placement? My chart is all on one side. Okay, so if you have nothing in your Aries placements, meaning like that means you have nothing in the first house. You probably don't have no planets in the first house, but what's your rising sign, Crystal? Because whatever your rising sign is, that sits in your Aries placement. Why? Because your first house, which is what the rising sign means, is ruled by Aries. Okay. So if you have nothing in the first or no planets in the first, it's okay. I still want you to study your rising sign energy. Okay. Apply that to your Aries placement. All right. Sun and Aries come through spirit. Yes. Mars and Leo, Sag, Mars and Gemini. Okay. Oh, shit. You got Mars and Gemini? Okay, then. So you really feeling this thing right now, okay? Because it's really pushing and going back. It's like I'm taking 2 steps forward and it's pulling me right back 1 step. But it's okay because you're finna get ready to feel a different shift in that vibration, okay? Mars and Scorpio in the second. Okay, then Mars and Taurus, Mars and Virgo, Mars and Aquarius, Mars and Capricorn, Aries in the 7th house with Lilith. Okay, part of your fortune. Okay, then we're gonna talk about that, Marla. Let's see. Crystal, did you write in what's in your first house? First house still in. Okay, what is the first house still in? You got Mars or what's in? Remind me.
Oh, my
Capricorn
first house? Yeah, Moon, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune.
Come on, then. You see, it had to pop back in. Like, wait a minute, what's in her first house? Capricorn. I had to remember you for a second. So, Crystal, what you got in the first, baby? Or what's your rising sign? What is your rising sign?
Gemini.
Gemini. So boom. Okay. So that placement is what you will study for this moon and Aries energy. Okay. Studying that first house, looking at how, and then because again, I just said that Mars is also in that Gemini placement right now. That means the whole conversation of the moon and Aries plus the Mars and Gemini is all in your first house. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's see what else I got on here. Okay.
Wait. Question.
Yep.
So I got Mars in Gemini. It's in the 6th house.
Okay.
So you just said the new moon energy is a conversation with my Mars and Gemini. And it's about my body. And tomorrow I'm starting a detox.
Come on. See, that's the proof of the energy right there. That's why I tell people, regardless of whether or not you know astrology or not, it's talking to you all the time. So it's no coincidence why you are starting that detox. You're starting that detox because your body in the 6th house is saying, I'm tired. I need a break. I need to get this out of me, because your vibration does not want to take you into the next level with all that junk. Okay. So whatever and when I mean junk, I'm not talking about whether or not you've been eating bad. I'm talking about emotional junk. You feel what I'm saying? So whatever you've been processing, whatever's been in your mind, it also affects the body, right? So the fact that your energy is moving you to the detox, that's the 6th house talking. That's why the Gemini energy is saying, hey, I got a few more days before we move into Cancer and before this huge Pluto energy comes in. So we need to detox this out, okay? Boom. Crystal says she started 1 too. Yes, that's exactly what's going on. Okay. And then for those of you that feel like, even if you don't have that placement, if you've been hearing the fact that you need to detox, it's the spring still talking to you. It's still Aries saying, I need to be lighter so I can move quicker. Right. And if you got a lot of heaviness on your body, energy heaviness I'm talking about, it makes it more difficult for you to spring forward. Why you think we change the time goes forward? And that's one thing in Mexico that doesn't happen. Time doesn't change over here. It stays consistent, right? But I still recognize astrologically why that exists, right? The reason why we changed time was move the time forward, even though it had a lot to do with agriculture, it still has a lot to do with the vibration of the body. The body is ready to jump, okay? And because it's ready to jump, it wants you to release all the stuff that's hanging onto your feet. Who want to tell me what sign rules the feet? Quickly. Comfort, you can't answer it. Come off of mute. Nope. What rules the feet? Marcel, you can't answer either. Yes, Pisces.
My bad.
Pisces rule the feet, okay? So is it a coincidence that we want to jump? No. After Pisces come Aries, okay? So the whole Pisces season, the whole wintry season is about letting it all go and releasing and letting go of the attachments. Why? Because it's time to jump, okay? So that whole feet action, the being slow on the feet, we let that go when Aries come in. Aries rule the head, okay? So you may find yourself having headaches. If you find yourself starting to have headaches, a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are ignoring your Aries placements, okay? You got me? Mars and Gemini, your energies get turned on quickly whenever anything interests you, but you have a very short attention span. So know these couple of days, even the stuff that we're talking about right now, you may feel like you're listening, and you may feel distracted. Some pop up in your head. It's okay. I don't feel no kind of way. I know what's happening. Just know that you're going to have to go back, okay? Go back and watch the video. You're going to get the playback when class is done. Go back and listen to the things so that you can be very meticulous about what it is that you need to study, okay? It's going to be a constant motion from now until Saturday. All right, let's go into the next placement. Any questions about Moon and Aries? Nope, no Moon in it. No questions about Moon and Aries? All right, great. So let's segue now. Y'all told me what your Mars sign was. You told me what, did y'all tell me what y'all got in the first house? Everybody tell me what's in their rising signs. What is your rising sign?
The cafe website tells me my first house.
Uh-huh. Let me pull up one. Let me show you where it's at. This right here is your first house.
Oh, Virgo is my first house.
So boom, write that in. Virgo. All right, first house, second house, third house. This is how it goes down in order. So it starts from 1, goes down into 12. Okay. And it's okay if you don't, if you know, especially if you just kind of jumping into this and you kind of new, just stay with me. And I'm gonna make sure before you get off this call, you're gonna know everything to study. Okay. Aries rising in the building. All right. The reason why I asked you what's in the first house, because the first house is ruled by Aries. Okay. You're also going to study that. Okay. Now, your first house has a lot to do with your personality. Not only does it have a lot to do with your personality, it also has a lot to do with how you show up in the world. So even though you may be sun sign, whatever you are, okay, your rising sign is what the world see you as. So Mr. Virgo, okay, even though, what's your sun sign, Taju?
So the sun sign would be.
The day you was born. Give me your birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry, March 24th, Aries.
Come on. So you're an Aries, okay? So even though you are a sun Aries, you don't look like one. You look like a Virgo, okay? Do you have any Virgos in your family? Do you know any Virgo people?
No.
You don't have any Virgo people in your family.
I got to research that, but
Okay, it's okay.
the closest people to me, no. But maybe uncles or cousins or something like that.
Oh, okay. Virgo energy, if you want to know when the birthday starts, it starts at the end of August and goes all the way through the middle of September. Okay. So that's that Virgo vibration. Virgo has a lot to do with the physical body. Okay. So Virgo people or people who look like Virgos look like they are physically fit. Okay. Want to be in the gym and working out, you know what I'm saying? Or really taking care of their bodies is a very important thing. Why? Because Virgo rules the digestive system. Okay. So a lot of the stuff when Comfort was just talking about the detox, right? The detox energy that she's talking about is the Virgo placement. Okay, so this energy of you being an Aries doesn't have anything to do with what you physically look like, right? So if all of us was looking at you, I don't know if you've been to the gym today, but you look like it. You look like you work out, okay? You know, so it's the vibration of what may come off for other people when they see you. So I want you guys to study this too. Why? Because we're moving into the Aries energy. Whenever we move into the Aries energy, your first house or your rising sign becomes very important, okay? Because it is a reset for your personality. I just said Aries also rules the head. So this may be also one of them times where you feel like you want to do something with your hair. Okay, you may want to color it, you know, or, you know, wear it up or wear it down, do something different. Okay, why? Because it has a lot to do with, again, this physical perspective, how you are being seen. Okay. Taju is the one who put me on with the detox. Ah, really?
Uh,
So
uh,
you like him. Then, Comfort?
And
Oh
she
yeah,
put
yeah.
she
You know, I'm
she
bringing
put
my
me on to
peeps,
you, so
girl.
that's amazing.
You always be bringing them through. If it ain't you, it's your sisters, it's your cousin. You always bringing somebody through. So yes, if he put you onto the detox, so that's the reason why. It's no coincidence that you are someone who even has that information. It's not a coincidence. It's in your physical vibration when it comes down to that. So yes, ma'am. And yes, sir. That's what that is. Okay, so I want y'all to make sure that you're studying this. So for the Aries part of your chart, your homework is going to be your Mars sign energy. Okay. It's also going to be your Aries placements. It's also going to be your first house. Okay. Why? Because most of the energy that we're going to be dealing with this year is going to be in the two axes of the cardinal vibration and the fixed vibration. The cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. Okay. So meaning all the classes that we're going to be doing is going to have a heavy influence on dealing with the cardinal vibration and the fixed vibrations. What's the fixed vibration? Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Okay. Just so happens to be this shift that I'm talking about is heavily laden in those two dynamics of the chart, the fixed side and the cardinal energy. Okay. All right. So make sure y'all take note of that. So now let's move into the most beautiful part, Pluto and Aquarius. So let's start off talking about Pluto. Okay. Move this out of my way. All right. So Pluto, anytime we're talking about Pluto, we're talking about the transformer. We're talking about power, death, rebirth, evolution. Okay. Now keep those things in mind, because when we're talking about Aquarius mixed in with this, we're talking about how Aquarius then merges with this Pluto vibration. Okay. The Pluto vibration again, transformation, power, death, rebirth, evolution. Okay. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio vibration, meaning anytime we're talking about Pluto, we're talking about Scorpio. Like I just told y'all, anytime we're talking about Mars, we're talking about Aries, it's the same thing. Okay. And anytime Pluto was coming up, even though they tried to delete my boy, you know what I'm saying? They tried to go ahead and say it wasn't important. No, it's very important, because Pluto is the bully. If you want to know who the biggest bully of the zodiac is, it's Pluto, but with good reason. Okay, why? Because Pluto is going to make sure that you get everything you came here for. That's why I love it. That's why I love it, and how it's so attached to the Scorpio vibration, and it also being the mirror to our Taurus vibrations, which Taurus is our values, our money. It's everything that you want. So when you start to struggle on the things that you feel like you're supposed to have already, keywords of Taurus, a lot of that is because you are resisting to letting something go, or you're resisting to transitioning or transforming, which has everything to do with Scorpio and Pluto. Okay. So when we're talking about now how we're going to segue into having a better, stronger legacy, how we're going to have more money, how we're going to get all the things that y'all have been writing down and trying to manifest, a lot of that means that you're going to have to let go of some things, okay? And letting go of these things, meaning that you're transforming, okay? You're going to die a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Death could be a beautiful thing when you really realize how it's there to transform, right? Meaning like when there's a forest fire or there's grass being burnt, right? Right after that, you know what happens? New life. Grass grows stronger and healthier after they burn it up. You know why that is? Because it's transformed. All that carbon and the nutrients from the burn just goes down into the grass and just allows it to repopulate and allows it to be reborn again. Okay, so through this transition that we're dealing with this week, you're gonna die a little bit. Okay, but you're dying so that all the things that you have been wanting to happen, and again, the extent of your life is now here. Okay. And especially those of you who have been working with me some years, I've been like, hold on, it's coming. It's coming. They be like, wait, Gigi, I'm like, hold up, just hold up. It's here. Okay. Now with this, it's going to feel a little rebellious because you're going to feel like, give y'all a visual. Jean Grey, when she went from being Jean Grey to being Phoenix, right? Full on, you know what I'm saying? Now she almost burnt up everything, the whole world and all of us, but through that energy, right? All is well, all things came out. So part of that vibration is the same. It's one of my favorite ones too, girl, especially that particular one, right? Because it was like the only person who kept her from completely destroying the world was Wolverine. And do y'all know what Wolverine is in astrology? Tell me right now. Somebody give it to me. Just guess. If you guess wrong, it's okay. Who said what you say?
Scorpio?
Nope. She is Scorpio. She represents the Scorpio. And think about the claws. Yes, Aries, Monique. The Aries representation, right? Because the only thing that can really hold down a Scorpio, especially when it's about to blow everything up, is an Aries. Why? Because Aries is equal in war. Now it's equal in war. Scorpio shares the Mars dynamic with Aries. Okay. So when it comes down to that, it's the Aries vibration. So you saw he was, almost killing himself too to try to get to her, right? He had to claw into the ground to kind of get to her, to pull her down, to ground her in, right? But it was that energy. It was that massive Pluto energy, right? That transforming energy, and the Mars moving that vibration to allow it to give us what it needed to give. Okay. So if you ever need to go back and just for a second have a movie for the vibration of what we're talking about, go back and watch X-Men. Okay. And I think it was that number 4? Was that X-Men 4? Can't remember which one it was. But go back and watch that because it's such a huge representation. Every time I'm watching movies, y'all, I'm always throwing astrology in there. If it's characters, I'm like, I bet you they is a Gemini. I bet you they did every time I'm watching something, because I know that vibration don't just speak to us in our chart. It's always talking to us every chance that we have. So it's about you being able to correlate and allow yourself to tap into that to see what those vibrations are. Okay. Now, this Pluto transit can be anywhere between 12 and 31 years, even though this says 12 to 15, because that's the average. The average time that Pluto stays in the sign is anywhere between 12 to 15, but it's going to be in Aquarius for 18 years, okay? So it's a very long transit that we're dealing with, and because it is a very long transit, understand how important it is that you get familiar with letting things go and allowing yourself to reveal. A lot of truth is going to come out of this, okay? When I mean a lot of truth, I mean a lot of things that you have been trying to save face for, okay? So a lot of abuse. Y'all see a lot of the abuse stuff is coming out. Everywhere we look, the truth is coming out. They're now starting to tell the truth about, the slavery. They're telling the truth about the Native American people and us always being here. It's a lot of truth coming out with this transit, right? Reparations, exactly, Mark. It's a lot of stuff coming out. This is all Pluto stuff. I don't know if y'all saw that over in the UK and England, it was like 30,000 teachers walked out. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole entire streets was covered with teachers and a lot of people who were public service workers who were like, listen, we're being treated unfairly. That is what I mean when we're talking about Pluto, and especially when we're talking about the Aquarius part of it, because it's about community. It's about the world and how we all matter, okay? So you're going to see more conversations surrounding trans children and trans people. All of this is Aquarius energy, meaning that regardless of how different you are, or how you see yourself, it matters, because who you are as a being all matters. And guess what also matters too? What's above. Because they've been lying to us about what's outside of our solar system, what's outside of here, okay, and how these planets line up. So you're going to get more information about the truth about aliens and the truth about extraterrestrial life, you know what I'm saying, and our part in this. A lot of this stuff is going to come out. I advise you to not resist and not fight. I advise you to study, okay? And this is where AI also comes into this, okay? Let me pull up the Aquarius thing. This is also where AI comes in, okay? Because AI has a lot to do with the Aquarius or the future, okay? Or our futuristic energy. All of that has a lot to do with it. And because it's time for us to embrace it. I was watching this other video, the guy was saying, oh, we've been using AI. What do you think autocorrect is? Y'all hadn't spelled the words right in the last 10 years. You've been just relying on your phone or relying on the machine to tell you what you're spelling. Well, that's AI, okay? I can go down a list of all the things that you have been doing. Having Siri on your phone, that's AI. Alexa, you know, all this is AI. But because it was so small and you thought it was just another system, not me, I can spell thank you. No, you can't. You think you can spell, but I guarantee you, you have been relying on that AI, which is your autocorrect. If that's the case, turn your autocorrect off. Okay, turn your Siri off and also turn your Alexa off. Okay, if y'all so scared of the robots, you've been living with them already. The only difference is now you can actually program them and use them for your day-to-day life. Now you can have an assistant. Now you can have all the things you've been saying, I need more help. I need help on this and that. Well, good. Now you can now program your own machines to make that happen, not fight it. Okay, not only is that, cryptocurrency. Okay, this old outdated way of money, the green dollar, is about to be obsolete. Why y'all think crypto has been making waves for a while? Like since what, 2014, 2015, we started to see more of cryptocurrency and more of us, the system starting to use it to where you can go and now shop online and use Ethereum and use Bitcoin. You know why that is? That's machine, that's AI, okay? It's never it's all exactly. Well, it's, you know, that's changing too, because again, we are starting to program it, right? And now that we're starting to program it, it's gonna start to use those words. Okay. So chat GBT, what is it? What is it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Chat PTT. Yes, GPT. All of this is now you. Okay, it's you and what you have been asking for, because you are tired of doing certain mundane things. So this Aquarius Pluto energy is now starting to get you tapped into the things that you've always been using but never been programming. And now it's time for you to be the programmer. Aquarius is the programmer of the future, okay? Why? Because it's concerned with the community. It wants to live more in community. And because it does want to live more in community, a lot of the things that we've been doing, we don't have time for. Okay, and because we don't have time for it, now we're starting to tap deeper into how we can really use this computer and this phone, because you've been walking around with a AI in your hand for a minute. Okay, this is, if you didn't know what AI is, here it is. This is it. Okay, so now we're going to move and segue into that energy in a deeper way. Okay, not only is it dealing with those things, it's also dealing with more of the responsibility of playing your part. Okay, there are things that you have that you know that does not go in alignment with your vibration in your community, and you haven't been speaking up about it. So what part do you play? Part of the homework that I asked you guys to do was to write down some of the things. Let me pull up the homework. I asked y'all, right? Make a list of the social changes that are very important to you and what you can do to add to your energy to help the shift, right? So what did you guys write down, right? Just give me one. You don't have to write them all down, but what did you write when it comes down to social changes that are very important to you? And I mean very important, y'all know what I'm talking about. What are the things that irritate you the most? That's not changing, that's not being done, okay? What are those things? And what are you doing to help it out? What is your plan of action for your future to be a part of this? Because that's your community. That's what, if it's something that you believe in so hard, like for me, I firmly believe in plant medicine. I firmly believe in our ability to use our minds and tap deeper into things, right? So I've been talking about it a little bit, but you're going to see me talking about it a lot more. Why? Because I felt like part of my responsibility, because I was in the medical industry for 12 plus years, right? Got the degrees. Part of my gift is to be able to show people how you can heal yourself. Plant medicine is one of the things that can help you to heal yourself. You don't need plant medicine. It's just a receptor. It's just a turn on. But once you get it turned on in your body, you can remember, right? So that's one of my things I want to make sure that I am not only just, doing the retreats, now it's time for me to be more vocal about it in social media. For me to talk about how I was in the medical industry and how pharmaceuticals was being used improperly and how it was just creating this cycle of more disease and more hurt and more pain. It wasn't healing anybody. And how me, myself, this is how I segue out of it. It's me stepping into, having an ayahuasca journey first, and then stepping into using psilocybin and mushroom therapy, and not only healing myself, but how I helped my 16-year-old who was severely depressed and severely dealing with issues. How instead of me taking her to another therapist to give her a prescription, I started microdosing my child. I was afraid to talk about it before because I didn't want people to feel like that I was being an irresponsible parent. Even though I'm a scientist and I know what this has done for me, right? It still was a taboo thing when it comes down to society. This is what I'm talking about. You have things that you need to talk about that you feel like is taboo in society. And now it's time for you to activate that community. It's time for you to make waves on that. You know what I'm saying? So my small steps was Wild Women Worship. That was me getting more comfortable, bringing women into the community like, hey, I need y'all to sit down. We need to talk about these plants. We need to talk about these medicines that they have completely told you that is not available or that you shouldn't use. But meanwhile, they're doing all kinds of studies about it and they're using it for their benefit. You feel what I'm saying? So what is your things? Okay, what are some of the stuff? Y'all didn't type? Did I say type it in chat? Okay, one and multiple partners and allowing your partners to have, yes, polyamory, okay, multiple loves, and how we can have more love, right? And don't get me wrong, marriage is still a thing if that's for you, right? Depending on your chart, you may have that in your markers to be more vocal about marriage. Be more vocal about how women and men can come together, and it's not this gender role thing that's starting to divide us. Okay, not every man is masculine enough to do all those things. There are some women who hold more masculinity, and that's okay, right? So it's a lot of things that we have to talk about that's going to allow us to shift this world into a whole different thing where we can get the help. Don't y'all want the help? Don't you want more money and have more opportunity to live your life and be free and do all those things? Or do you want to continue on this same journey that we've been on, that we watched our parents be on, and we watched our grandparents be on? No, that stuff is not working anymore. You know what I'm saying? The price is going up on everything. You know why it's going up on everything? Because we need to come back together. This single idea of having things singularly, single family homes, that was the age of Pisces. The whole energy of Aquarius, the Pluto and Aquarius energy, as well as the age of Aquarius, ain't about just you and your family and y'all having in one space. It's about everybody coming together. Okay. My social change is justice for our environment, changing in our political structure. Come on, because we need these politics to change. Can we get more women in politics? Can we get more feminine energy to represent us in politics? Why? Because not to say that the men are like, we don't want the men there. I just feel like we need a balance. We need both. We need feminine and masculine representation when it comes down to politics, because sometimes men are too focused on the what is, the physical part of it. The woman represents the emotional part of it. So we got both the emotions and the physical. We can make some waves. We can really allow us to really go to the next level when it comes down to our children and education. You know what I'm saying? Our households and our finances and our minimum wage, things like this that we pay. The reason why people don't want to go to work because they tired. So that's why we're having to use the machine so they can do those mundane tasks. But it's allowing us to tap deeper into our gifts. Okay. People being priced out of life deeply disturbs me. Yes. So what does that mean? If that disturbs you deeply, that people don't have the money to survive, what can you do in this Pluto in Aquarius vibration to make sure that you're being more vocal about it? Number one, you got to get mad. That's what this Aries thing is doing. It's pushing us all to activate our anger and activate that and come out with it, right? Say what needs to be said. Stop biting your tongue. One thing that people don't like about Aries is that we too raw. Aries always says the raw stuff, okay? We sometimes try to be like, I'm not gonna say that. But then 2 or 3 or 4 more things have been said that we don't agree with, and then it all just comes blah, 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 blah. It just comes out, you know what I'm saying? But if we go back and think about the Aries vibration, that is the baby, right? Does that baby try to sugarcoat the fact that you got a booger in your nose? Or that you know, your hair ain't combed and you looking a little ugly today? No, it does not, okay? That baby says exactly what needs to be said, even though it may hurt your feelings, okay? So some parts of this change is Pluto and Aquarius energy that we're dealing with, this Aries vibration, is going to hurt your feelings, and it should hurt your feelings because maybe that'll put some fire in your ass for you to say, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna stand up and really say what needs to be said, okay? So people being priced out, Leslie, say what needs to be done? What can we do to keep people from being priced out? Do we need to get back together and start to live instead in single family homes? Do we need to live in double family? What do we need? What can help us to survive? Because us being mad about it or just saying what we don't like is not enough. That's not enough, okay? This is everything. I'm holding on. Come on, Candace. I don't know what mine is. I've been speaking more about scammers and the lack of integrity and trust from people. Not sure if this counts. It does. It definitely does count. Scamming is a huge thing, right? But what comes along with scamming? Why are people being scammed? People are being scammed because when it comes down to you following your intuition, you ain't doing it. So we don't want to be duped no more. Then we got to talk about the fact that people are letting other people make decisions for them and they're not using their intuition. You're not tapping into yourself, right? So that's part of it. I also feel like part of your gift in helping us to really step into, we don't really understand how to navigate government contracts. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every time I try to think about it, I get overwhelmed, right? But it's money out here. So going back to what Leslie said, people are being phased out, right? Because of money. But there's money everywhere. But how do we access it? How do we stop being afraid of doing the wrong thing when it comes down to applying for these things that's keeping us behind? Whereas there are other communities, let me put my air quotes up, is other communities who are going after these things. So part of the thing that I'm frustrated with is the fact that we don't take enough risk. We don't take enough chances when it comes down to getting what is owed to us. We always trying to pitch the penny or borrow from Peter to pay Paul, you know what I'm saying, to get by. When there's a lot of money, a lot of energy that's surfacing out here, but we don't have the education of how to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what I want. If you ask me what I want your help on, I want your help on that. How can you help me to understand this more so that I can also be the whistleblower on telling people, listen, it's money out here. It's government contracts that you can apply for. There's different things that you can put yourself inside of. Go and get this money. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid to just step out there and do something that's different, right? Go to corporate. It's a lot of corporate stuff going on. It's going to be a lot of people that those of us who are entrepreneurs, we need to step into corporate and get corporate money, but we don't understand it. Feel what I'm saying?
Let me tap into that real quick.
Come on.
So I've been telling people who work in the, like, let's call it woo-woo community, whether it's psychedelics, spiritual knowledge, self-development, to get on LinkedIn and start utilizing their LinkedIn platforms to connect with just regular matrix working professionals.
Yes.
And the reason why is because a lot of these companies are now seeing the benefit of mental clarity and mental peace in their employers to get more productivity out of them. Now, a lot of the jobs are going to get cut, okay? But for the people who are there, they're going to have a lot of work to do.
That's right.
And these companies will pay someone to come in every Sunday and do summer Fridays, yoga every other week for the employees for free. Someone will pay for you to host a cohort and get paid, you know, $10,000 to speak about mental wellness from a perspective that everyone can afford. That isn't a therapist, that is a life coach or astrology or tools that you can use. And I'm on LinkedIn for my regular job, and I use it to connect with clients to help me at work. But I started following people in the spiritual space on there. And these people, they racking up.
Yes.
They do a host, they putting all it out there. Oh, we're having a psychedelics for people with ADHD who don't want to take medication. We're having a webinar. Come jump on this thing and bop, 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 bop. You don't need to be matrix professional because these people aren't looking for that. They're looking for somebody who provides a service outside of what they have access to.
Exactly. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean about the world's being, Pisces pushed us out. Okay. Aquarius is bringing us back in. So it doesn't matter whether or not you want to be a corporate person. Corporate still needs us. They still need the spiritualists. They still need the gifts and talents that we have been honing in on for the last 10 plus years. They haven't been doing it. So they need that to keep now this energy functioning, because this is where the age of Aquarius, the Pluto and Aquarius energy is making it loud and clear that we all need each other. And if we do not tap in, it's going to be difficult for us to survive if we do not link up, if we do not come together. If you feel like you're going to still survive on your one-on-one, no, you're not, baby. You're not going to do it. Okay? Marla, you got to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say, I like what was her name? Comfort said. And I think too, I'm just going to put this out there. Indigenous Black people need to take the lead in that, because for years, our people have been ostracized and put in prisons based on just the herb of THC. So I think that if we come together in the sense of, okay, our people are going to take the lead because we are the natural healers of this planet, then I believe that the universe will honor that, and can't nobody push you out of those spaces.
No.
And in the matrix world, they waiting to have one of us talk.
Yes.
This pattern that's shown up is that when Black folks get up to share something, people listen.
Come on.
People listen to that. Yeah, and it would make sense. And I'm telling you, I spend all my day on LinkedIn looking for clients for my 9 to 5. But it is a wide open lane for the body worker.
Yes.
For the woman who does psilocybin therapy. It's for the people who are outside of the profession of psychology and the medical system, because the people who are on LinkedIn ain't the ones who can afford that.
No. And that's the whole vibration. And this is again while we're having this conversation, y'all are ahead. Understanding everybody on this call, you are ahead, because people are trying to figure it out again, but they are afraid. Okay. The elderly people are afraid, which is a whole nother thing that we need to talk about, right? They also need help. A lot of the elders have money, but they don't know how to operate AI. They don't know how to operate the computer. They don't know how to operate their future, right? That's where we come in still. You come in because you are not afraid. You know what needs to be done. You're watching the patterns. You're doing the study. Now it's time for you to put yourself in a systematic way of understanding that this is how I can now promote myself. This is how I can now get those extra funds, so I can not only help and keep my family and my legacy going, but I can help other people in their legacies too. because you're not going to be able to do it if you're only thinking about you either. Okay, this ain't just about you. Again, it's about all of us. So if you got an idea in your head thinking that you are just going to take care of you, you're not going to make it. It's got to be all of us. So LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, but I haven't updated that profile in years, girl. But thank you for bringing that back up, because it allows me now to say, I need to go back on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, again, looking for ways that one thing that I love about corporate, even when I was working there, right? They constantly send us on retreats and send us in different places, or gave us money and say, hey, you need to go and do this and go and find resources to bring back to the office, right? So all this stuff is avenues and ways in which the universe is opening up for us to be able to tap deeper in, okay? So I don't need nobody talking about being concerned about where your money at. Your money is already out here, but until you realize, you got to come out the house, okay? You got to get out of the house. You got to get out there now. You got to put yourself in community. Keyword, Aquarius is community. Aquarius is the future. Aquarius is also the friendships that you have, right? That's why I also asked you, one of the questions was, make a list of your community, groups, and friends, and whether they are supportive of who you really are. Keywords are who you really are. Okay, if you got people in your life that you've been holding hostage because they remind you of your old self, you need to let them people go. If you don't have people in your life who are encouraging you to go bigger and do more and be your authentic self, you need to change your friend group. You need to change your community. You need a community that's going to challenge you to be more and bring more in. Okay, not these communities where there's one person over it and they want to do everything. It's got to be a round table discussion. We got to be able to sit down, you know what I'm saying, and realize what it is that we need to do in all the platforms across the board. Okay, so that's astrology, that's mental health, that's psilocybin, that's everything, that's physical health. All these things that we're going to need to ensure that we're going to survive, we need to sit down and have true community. So some of the friends that you have are not true community. I'm sorry. And you're holding on to these people because you are afraid to grow. You know what I'm saying? So let them go so they can go and get other people that's going to help them grow too. Okay, so don't worry about the fact of feeling like you're losing something, because you're not. Because if this is a true, genuine thing, it'll come back around when y'all are ready at the next stage of your life. But you gotta free up. Okay. All right. Let me read some more. Okay. What we do? Okay. People believe in all the propaganda related to the pandemic. I mean, scandemic really. Well, what you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about the scamdemic? Okay, or what you gonna do about your voice as it relates to what you know? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said part of what I have to talk about is the fact that I am a microbiologist. Okay, I am a certified microbiologist. Before I got into this line of work, y'all, I was working at the hospital. I was in the lab. I was helping diagnosis. I was helping the pharmaceutical industry. That's why I left, right? But now when they did the whole scandemic, pandemic, or whatever, I realized what that was about. And what it was truly about is giving us the opportunity to tap into your intuition and make a choice. And a lot of people didn't want to make the choice. A lot of people still don't want to make the choice, okay? Reparations, a lack of food, housing until an area is gentrified. Okay, Sherry, what you gonna do about it? What you got to say? What are you going to be? How are you going to use your voice to change that? You know what I'm saying? Or not change it, but bring about information so that as a community, it can be changed, right? Because that's all it takes. All it takes is you not being afraid to step up and say, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. This right here is not working for me. I know they working for y'all. So if you want to, let's do something about it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And then bounce. Go create the life that you want with the community that is ready to create that with you. Okay? Death to the gatekeeper. Come on, Marla. Gonna speak good, Monique. I'm gonna be right there. Please let me know when you're ready to speak on that stuff, because everybody in this room, especially with these grants and stuff that you know about, corporate thing, we'll all be there, babe. You got a whole room that's ready to take whatever you can give us information on how we can tap into those grants and tap into those things. We are there. You don't have to look for a community. You already got it. Okay. All you got to do is say, I'm going to do it. And all y'all ready. And we're going to be like, yes. because we are already. Most of the people in here are either entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying, or maybe entrepreneur and got a little corporate on us, but definitely in the line of entrepreneurship. So we need these things. We need access to these things. Many need to become a not-for-profit organization, get these benefits. Yes, Marla, you got information on telling us how to be a not-for-profit? Please, whatever y'all know, you don't have to hoard it and be quiet on it anymore, all right? You can share it. You can grab hands and say, listen, I got something to tell you, right? And don't have to worry about the fact that somebody is going to not see you in the process of it. That's what a community is. Community holds hands. When you look at the Aquarius totem, besides the lady pouring out the water, one of the other things is everybody in different colors holding hands, right? That's because that's how we have to be linked up. We have to, whatever you know is important to me. Just like what I'm doing right now is important to you. For you to know this, so you can study, right? So that you can take this information and go and tell as many people as you can, starting with your household, with your family, right? I want y'all to teach our family. Sit down with the community in your house and be like, we need to study. I need y'all to pull out your Aries stuff, pull out your Aquarius stuff, and let's talk about what we're about to do for this new age. What are your gifts and your talents? What do you want to do for the next 18, 20 years? Why did I say 18, 20 years? Because that's the transit. The transit is 18 years long. So what are you going to be doing for the next 20 years to ensure that your family is getting everything that y'all are supposed to have? Because that's what Pluto is here for. Pluto says, I want you to have it. But in order for you to have it, you got to think about the future. You can't be caught up on 2023. This is just a blink in time. The next future is already here. So how are you going to be in front of that wave? Part of being in front of that wave is studying and understanding what your placements are. So now, in the chat room, put on there, what do you have in Pluto? What is your Pluto sign, right? And what house is your Pluto in? Next episode on the Minister is the Healer from Man. Okay, come on. You know, and anytime you want to talk about it, I would love to come on your show and talk about it too. You know what I'm saying? And Comfort didn't mention it, but she doing some stuff too. Okay. So she already got her whole line going on. She is creating these products in her house. Okay. She is hands-on with it. Beef, honey, chocolate. Speaking of chocolate, let me show you this Comfort. I was like, I thought about you, girl. Got me some chocolate. You see that? Now I ate one and I was like, this shit is kind of raw. This don't taste like the chocolate that I thought chocolate was.
Look, I actually been in here the whole time. I just got set up another grow tent in my room for my like my business has really been taking off. And I think like recently so many people are like, we want to make an order. And I'm like, I haven't even been prepared for this to pop off. And now it's like, oh, I got to get serious.
Oh, you prepared. You just being a Taurus. You just being a Taurus.
Yeah, I just,
that's all.
But you know what? I bought a tent.
Good.
And I got it set up. So once my grows get going, y'all gonna prepare to be sick of me.
Listen, y'all already sick of me, and it ain't finna stop. Okay, I'm just gonna add more sick of me people. Like we gonna all be a community of sick of me's. That's what I'm growing. You understand what I'm saying? But listen, it's that time for it. Okay, let me see what y'all got. Now answer mental health. Yes, I've been flying solo for a real. Okay, so now time to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? The support is here. My list is on 0. I had this talk with my husband just last week. I was hurt like these people don't really know me. Grateful for, come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you had that realization though, because if they don't really know you, that means you haven't been allowing yourself to really come out with it. So now welcome to your life. Welcome to us being ready for you, baby. Okay, we're ready. Everybody on this call, we're ready for y'all. Okay, you don't have to hide no more. You got the community that you need, even if it ain't this one. Trust me when I say the community is ready for you to just open your mouth and say it's time. And the moment you open your mouth, and I'm gonna use Comfort again. When we first started having sessions, I told her, I said, you need to get on social media. You need to start talking more. You just start telling your story, telling people, talking shit. Oh, what do you mean? I'm like, just talk. Don't worry, then you overprocess it. You know what I'm saying? And every time she gets on, I've watched her go from being very timid and scared about talking about the stuff that she's been going through to now. It's like she out with, now she got graphics and all kind of shit along with her words. You feel what I'm saying? All of this is what I'm talking about. We just have to just put yourself out there. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. Do y'all think the first time I opened my mouth about astrology, I was comfortable? No, I was not. I was not comfortable. But I knew it had to be done because I knew nobody was doing astrology like me. I knew nobody was talking about it from an intuitive perspective, not just angles and degrees and, oh, I'm this way because my Mars is in my 10th house and this segue in my, no, not just that. How can you grow with this? How can you use it every day? How can you be in alignment to this chart? How can you know when to work on relationships? How can you know how you need to work on money? How? Because everybody I was watching wasn't doing it. They was confusing me. So I had to come out of confusion to be able to talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? So now you can't get me to shut up. Every time I want to say something, I do. Okay, y'all be like, here she go again, talk about more astrology. Yep, every time you see me on this dog on social media, I'm going to say something about it because I don't care. I don't care about how y'all feel. You can be sick all day and I'm still going to talk about it. Okay. All right. Pluto in Libra in the 7th house. Okay. Relationships. Okay. You hear what I'm saying? Pluto and Scorpio in the 9th. Okay. Time to travel and trying to transform. You know what I'm saying? Get on out there. Don't be just stuck in one place trying to move with it. Libra cusp of the 10th house. All right. Education, mental processing, developing a sense of spiritual belief, spiritual practice, as well as being grounded in it. Okay. The teacher teaching this information, as well as, you know, being structured. You got to have the structure with anytime 10th house shows up, it's about structure and discipline. Okay. Pluto in the 11th house. I ain't talking to you. You already know what it is. Pluto in Capricorn. Okay. Pluto and Capricorn energy, a lot of that has a lot to do with the same thing. Knowing that it's time for you to get into the work, okay? So where you may have been holding yourself back, not being clear on where it is that you need to show up, now it's time. It's pushing you in your back. You know what I'm saying? Fitness is your thing, baby, okay? It's always been your thing. It's in your bloodline. So anytime you decide that you want to build this community of fitness, I miss doing Zumba with you, even though you fucking used to tie me out. I hated it, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't just that. You also have so much to talk about when it comes down to community too. You went through something. You hear what I'm saying? And that stuff that you went through, you still sitting on that shit. You got to let that out. You got to talk about it because a lot of people are suffering in that same space. And we already talked about this. A lot of stuff won't get changed until you say something. Until you open your mouth and be vocal, a lot of people are just sitting. They sit just like you, like, you gonna say something? I don't know. I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
No,
you're right, Gigi. I'm ready. And it is absolutely time. So I just want to let you know, absolutely.
Say it. Say it and do it, and then get us physically healthy. Get it out of our body. It's stuck in the body. You know what I'm saying? So the more we talk about it, then now we'll be more prone to want to get in the gym and do it. You know what I'm saying? But as long as that emotion is so heavy in our bodies, we don't want to make that change. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Pluto and Libra, relationships. Candace, what is the relationship energy like? Baby, how are you moving through it? What is your ideas on relationships? How have you been able to either burst of the relationship? What's been going on with that? Because you got something to change and transform in that space. Okay.
Candace, girl, you better talk. Tell them. Because today Candace shared with me something that about her relationship. Candace is on it. My friend Candace, you on it. I gotta call you out, girl. You doing the thing.
You gonna say something, Candace? Ain't no pressure.
I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm fumbling around with these Zoom buttons and trying to figure it out. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start, but it definitely is a bullseye on what me and Comfort were talking about, because I am in the midst of a very dynamic thing with my relationship, my current relationship. Oh my God. We went from being exclusive and that being a disaster to opening up our relationship, the possibilities of that, because he gave me a list of things that he requires for his expansion. I can't give him all those things. And I
on.
had to take a step back and be like, no, I can't do all of that for you because I have to give that to myself. And it was very hurtful because it triggered my not being enough trauma.
Yes.
But it was the fucking truth.
Yes.
That list, no, I couldn't do it all.
Come on. And now, since you was being honest and truthful, guess what's gonna happen to you, baby? You finna
Because
get
I'm so scared, Gigi. I'm like, what did I do? What did I open up?
You don't need to be scared. Now you're going to get everything that you need. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to be honest that when we are lying to ourselves and the people that we are contracted in, those relationships are helping us to find ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But we're so scared, don't want to let go. And what we're doing is we're suffering because of it. You feel what I'm saying? But your ability to be honest is now going to allow not only him to get what he needs, and baby, you can get what you need. That's what the Pluto is about. Your Pluto is surrounding relationships and changing and transforming the idea that what you may have been taught that relationships are supposed to be may not be what you need, may not be that for you. You feel what I'm saying? So some traditions, some things that we have been raised to believe is not for us. It was for our parents or our grandparents. You got to do what's for you. As you can see, this is your lesson. Your lesson.
And I'm figuring that out now because I didn't know that was for me because I thought that something making a decision like that, he could be taken away or he'd connect with somebody that could give him it's just the fear of holding on to those possibilities that haven't even happened yet.
And when you holding on to stuff that ain't, again, number one, you can't lose what's yours. I'm gonna say it again. You cannot lose what is yours, okay? Yeah. But what you can do sometimes when you're standing in the way of this whole energy, what you need to shift on, you could be stopped. What's behind that fear of losing is everything you've been waiting on. So you gotta get out of the way. Get out of the way. You're blocking yourself. You know what I'm saying? And wonder why some other things you've been asking for hasn't shown up is because you've been blocking it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
A fucking word.
You can't lose. You can't lose being true to you, baby. Okay, that's one thing I want y'all to understand. You cannot lose. The more you do what spirit is shaking up in you to do, because again, this is about this next level, this 3D to 6D level is all intuition. It's all your voice. It's all you, okay? You can have people that can come and help and confirm you, but it's all you. So if you can't start to listen to you and move on that, you're gonna feel sick, emotionally sick, vibrationally sick. Why? Because you're not shifting into it. You're not allowing this thing that you're asking for to happen. You're staying stuck in the old ways. You're staying stuck in the old paradigm, the 3D paradigm of this happened to me last time. Well, last time I did this is what happened. Well, I don't know. All of that stuff is not here anymore. That's not you. So let it go. You know what I'm saying? This is for all of us, including me. It's not us anymore. We got to shift. Okay. Yes, we are long overdue. Oh, come on. I'm ready. I'm ready, Marla. Put me on the books, baby. Pluto and Libra first house. Share, you and I talked about this. You know what I'm saying? Relationships and how you show up. Okay. How you want to show up. How you need to show up for yourself so that you can draw this energy in, right? Any Pluto and Libra energy is relationship stuff. And a lot of it is also too childhood things. Right? So go back and also resurface some childhood stuff that you remember, right? That may have also made you a little bit timid or fearful as it relates to relationship energy. Okay. Same with Pluto and Libra in the first house. Same with you, Taju. Same energy. Pluto and Libra in the first. Okay. So relationship energy for you. How is this showing up? What do you need when it comes down to relationship energy? Are you giving yourself overly giving and not receiving and waiting until you done give, and then you're like, oh my God, I don't have nothing left for myself. And then it's the blow up happens, right? Because that's how Libra is. Libra is that energy where it'll over sacrifice and it'll overdo it and keep attempting to pretend, right? All for the sake of getting along. Libra wants it to be balanced, right? But sometimes at the detriment of self. So part of this shift in this Libra energy of Pluto is to realize you got to transform that. You got to see what it is that you need for you. And then only then can you then be for other people. It's not the other way around. If you keep giving yourself and doing what everybody else needs you to do, it's going to throw you off. Okay. It's going to constantly throw you off. Are you in a relationship right now? I can't hear you. Say it again.
No.
Okay. Do you want to be in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. You want it this year?
Yes.
All right. Boom. Let's get it. You already know. Balance of yourself. I need you to start dating you. Okay. Disconnect from all the energy of thinking that the way you're going to get a balanced relationship is by being what people need you to be when you ain't been there for yourself. Okay. Stand up for you, inside of you. Tap into that. And then your counterpart can show up in that. You know what I'm saying? Because that Aries Libra thing with us, it can have us yo-yoing because that's your polar opposite energy. Aries sun, Libra rising energy, that's that yo-yo. Okay. So get off the yo-yo and just start to really hone in into yourself. And especially if you hanging out with Comfort, she got you. Comfort is gonna, now she knows, now she, trust me, she is paying attention. I know she not already look at that chart, but she really paying attention now. So I already know she's gonna stay on you when it comes down to things that you need for you, and you can have it exactly how you want it. But you gotta be honest, because also if you got Libra in the first house, that means you got Aries in the 7th. So you got Aries in the 7th. This is also you, again, being in love with yourself first. Aries is the I am, it's about self. Okay, so that means in your relationship perspective, you got to take care of self first, and then everything else can flow into that. Okay, Libra in Pluto and Libra in the 7th house. Come on, do I need to tell you, Leslie? Do I need to explain that to you? Leslie,
I said no.
okay, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. I just wanted to know. Okay. Pluto in the 2nd house, retrograde on the cusp of Scorpio and Libra. So what does Scorpio do? Change and transform, right? Libra, balance. So basically, this is about your change and your balance in your relationship, okay? Because it's also affecting how your money flows. And we already talked about this in session, okay? So your relationship energy and how your money shows up is directly tied together. The more you keep overdoing, feeling like you gotta be super mama and super wife and super everything, is not getting you what you need, baby. It's tiring you out. And what it does is it brings your fears up, because Scorpio is also where we are fearful. Okay, so the things that you need to do is not going to happen because you're overwhelmed with all of this, trying to balance out everything else in all the energy, relationship, household, all that stuff, and not allowing yourself to really see the help. The help is in you. The help is in the balance of you, okay? When you get into that energy, everything else can show up. Now, that retrograde part, though, because that means when you was born, it was already all off, okay? It was already, what are we doing? What's going on? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So you being the Taurus vibration and having that Scorpio energy there, it's the guarantee. It's why I told you the first time we ever had a session, you're not going to ever have a struggle with money and the things that you need to do. It's already in place. Your struggle is what you do with your time and how you use that time and how you give that time. That's what your struggle is. The moment you get that in alignment, all the other stuff that you need show up. Okay, so the transformation is there. Sitting in the space of realizing that you got to put yourself in structure, put yourself in discipline, let yourself change and transform to make sure that all the other stuff shows up. Don't let that retrograde fool you, okay? People see retrograde, they be like, oh, this is why I'm that way. I don't believe that over here. I believe in retrogrades to be just a little bit more of a little work that we got to do, but we still are showing up how it is that we can change that vibration, okay? Come on, I see your hand raised.
Okay, so since that session, our last session, I did time blocking. So the time blocking really helped me to stay on task. And it literally, I started doing it in January, and that was when the shift happened.
Yes. Come on. See what I'm saying? It's already in place. All you gotta do is work it, baby. Just work it. Work the vibration. Okay. Pluto and Libra. Do I need to tell you, Marcel? Marcel.
Absolutely not. We'd have been over this over and over and over.
I know we
and
have.
over and
I
over.
just want to.
Thank you.
Exactly. What house is the Pluto and Libra in?
What house is my Pluto and Libra in? It's in the 9th.
So you do what rules the 9th house?
But oh God. Stop laughing.
I told y'all, y'all are twins cosmically traveling to hold each other responsible, hold each other accountable on what y'all have to do. Y'all have such a beautiful relationship and I love it. You know what I'm saying? But know that you gotta tell the truth. You gotta be in truth, tell the truth to her, and she gotta be truthful and tell you the truth too. Y'all are not gonna make it if y'all are letting each other just be complacent and bypass it. It's not gonna work. Gotta be truthful. Y'all already know this. Okay, I tell y'all this every time. I'm constantly telling y'all this. Say what needs to be said. Don't let either one of y'all, don't let you get off. Okay. Lizzie, don't let him get off. Marcel, don't let her get off. Say what needs to be said. Okay, so that can be a correction in that Libra placement and you can change and transform. So all the other stuff that y'all need to happen because y'all are working on something right now. Y'all ready to transition into this next phase, this next stage? You know what I'm saying? Out of the complacency of being at the house, Leslie, it's time for you to go, baby. Time for you to leave home. It's time for you to step. Once you leave home, all the other stuff that you need to happen is going to happen. You got to leave home. Comfort, I see you shaking your head. You got to leave home too. You already know it. I see you shaking your head. You got to leave home, baby. It's time to go, okay? Can't stay there, okay? You can go back and visit, but you can't stay, okay? Yes, you and Leslie always together. Drill. Y'all are always together. Okay. I've been rocking with you from the beginning. Come on. Ever since the cucumbers, baby. That's what I've been telling people. Like when they start talking about this sex, I'll be like, I've been talking about this sex stuff and I ain't gonna stop talking about it either. Okay. So know that the more things that no matter where I go in this world, there's gonna be things that's gonna be true about me. Okay. Sex is one of them. I'm gonna always talk about that, okay? Have to, okay? That's what Madam Gumbo is. If y'all don't know who she is, get to know her, okay? Because she is the raw. I just went on here and I just pulled her out of my body. It was like, you know what? Instead of me teeter-tottering on her, let me just create a persona to deal with this, okay? All right, we need more of your input on relationships. I'll see you at the class. Okay, I'm with it. We can do it, okay? So understand that.
You already read my ass. I said, scratch that. You already read my ass when you talked to Candace.
So what that mean? I can't talk to you again? Don't you try to say?
I'm just saying the same shit she was saying. I was experiencing that shit probably the same time. So it's, you know.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what they say, don't they? And that's what they said, but they didn't tell you the devil's in you. They were talking about shame yourself. You are the devil. Exactly. Okay, tell the truth, shame the devil in you so that you can break free from that. You know what I'm saying?
I just can't break free. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, you just said it. What the fuck is the fact that you said I can't do it. So how about you change the words?
I get to break free. You get the option. You get to break free.
Come on.
When you're ready.
Come on.
I get to break free. I'm choosing to break free from this cycle. I just can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it.
That's it. Know that part of this energy that we are dealing with this Pluto vibration is going to hit you so hard. That's the reason why I wanted to have a class. I wanted to have a class because I wanted to prepare y'all and get y'all set up for this punch in your stomach. Okay. We all finna get a punch in the stomach. The difference is you know why you're getting it. You know where it's coming from and you know why it's here to help you. Okay. Everybody else gonna get punched in the stomach and they gonna be out here wilding and being crazy. They are not ready for this. They're not ready, but you are ready. So part of the energy is that you have to put in your mindset that you are ready for it. You can no longer use the words of, I don't know what it is. or what I have to do. You do know what you have to do, but you got to be honest with yourself and say, I have been resistant to doing it because I have been also programmed to give the world all of me and give myself none.
It's the fucking fear. It's the fear.
The fear of what?
The same, like Candace was saying, the fear of the unknown, the scenarios that go through your head that, you know, this could happen and that could happen and what if and all that bullshit. And I'm like, this is the fucking abandonment trauma all over again.
Yes, the fear, she said the fear of losing, right? But you can't lose. What you mean? There is no loss. That's not real. They have lied to us, okay? You can't lose.
I'm like, what? How the hell can I be mad at somebody for what they saying that they want or that they deserve or expect? Or, I mean, that's you. That ain't got shit to do with me.
You know why you mad? You know why you mad is because you won't do it for yourself. That's why. We mad when other people say what they want, and we know that we are not in a space to give it, right? But at the same time, because you are choosing to continue the relationship without getting what you want, why you can't do it either? No, because again, unzip everybody out of their bodies. Look at them like an orb of energy talking to you. Now the universe is now telling you this is the things that I want. What do you think is showing up as? A mirror reflection. It's showing you where you are not giving that to yourself.
I get that. Trust me, I do get it. I said it to myself. I'm like, he just showed me a mirror, and that trigger was just him holding the mirror up like, look, bitch, you know, I'm you me. Why you mad?
We don't like that though. We hate mirrors. We hate mirrors in this universe. Okay?
I'm becoming more comfortable with my mirror reflection because obviously embracing it is helping me out of this. But God damn it.
I'm gonna need y'all to all get some mirrors this week. I'm gonna need y'all to carry around a mirror. So the moment you find yourself struggling or want to fight us, and hold a mirror up. Say it. If it's a problem, where the problem at? The problem is in the mirror.
Here's the thing, G. I do tell myself, and I do say out loud what I want and what I deserve. I write it down and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Why don't I believe it?
Because you haven't told yourself that you believe it. The words is mixing.
It still feels like double talk when I say it. Like it to me, honestly, I'm gonna be dead ass. It feels like someone else is saying it for me.
It is. You know who that other person is? You, who really wants you to do it.
But it doesn't. I don't feel a connection with whoever is saying it. Well, to me, that's saying it.
Yes. So come on, listen to what you just said. You disconnected from yourself. That's what you just said. That's the problem. The problem is that you know better, but the person that is telling you that we know better and we want to do better, you acting as if they are not a part of you. So if they ain't a part of you, why would you listen? Why? You tell yourself, I don't gotta listen to you. I don't even know who you are. So yeah, you do have to listen because that's the part that's been getting in the way. That's the energy that's getting in the way. This old abandonment person who wants to hold on to all these old tired ass stories and all this old shit of having excuses is getting in the way. And you got so much to do. Come on. You got so much to do. It's art in you that needs to come out. It's things that you need to do that needs to come out of there. And if you do not tap into that person who is constantly talking to you, because you just said it, she's constantly talking to you and you are fucking ignoring her. You're telling her she ain't even a part of you. So why would you even go in that direction if you're saying that she is not a part of you? Because you scared, like you said, you scared. You scared that you, like that little girl said by her nails, you scared that you're a bad bitch and you don't know what to do with that bad bitch. So since you don't know what to do with her, you acting as if she don't exist. And she does. And she's gonna keep tapping on you and irritating you and making you lose other things, distractions and all that stuff, until you confront and say, I'm ready to deal with you. I'm ready to be
so annoyed that I'm still
good. So when that punch hits you in your stomach this week, on Thursday, you know who punching you now. It's her. She's punching you dead in your face and in your stomach because she's tired of being ignored. Okay, Candace says she's super pissed. Come on. Listen, we're in here together. Monique, I want to be free. I need a living. Yes, you can have that. You can have that when you start to give yourself the things that you need. You understand? So understand how important that this transit is. Understand how important that March 21st, this moon in Aries is. Understand how important this Aries vibration is this year. Now, wrapping up, the reason why it's so important is because we're also shifting nodes. Okay, right now we're in the Taurus Scorpio node. I just told y'all what Taurus and Scorpio is responsible for. Taurus is your values. It's everything that you say you want to be, to be royal, to be royalty, to have money, look like money, smell like money, feel like money. That's all Taurus, right? Well, Scorpio is the change to get to that. So for the last 2 years, all these eclipses that we have been having have been trying to get you to see where you have been living in fear and how that fear has been preventing you from getting the things that you need. You got one more time. You got one more eclipse energy to deal with, Taurus and Scorpio, and then it's done. So meaning that this is the last part of it. This punch is associated with Aries. Aries is also saying, hey, we got another cycle to go through so you can see the light, because come July, we are now shifting nodes. Now we're in the Aries Libra axis. Okay, so what you're going to be experiencing this week, all the things I asked y'all to do to make the list, that's also giving you an indication on what you're also going to be looking at from the July period. It's going to be another look. And then October. Okay, so when these eclipses start coming in and during the summer, it's going to be all dealing with your I am, which means you better boss up, because if you don't boss up, the summer is going to really be on your ass. Okay, it's going to be really in that ass hard. Okay, why? Because now it's about your I am and the balance of relationships. So all us Libra people, Pluto and Libra people, because most of us is in that generation anyway. We all have it, right? It's because we are the generation to change relationship dynamics. So now you know why you've been struggling with relationships, because it's time for you to change the dynamics. Okay, why? So that you can tap into your I am. You are the God you've been waiting on. You are the relationship you've been waiting on. You are the support you've been waiting on. Okay, all of this is you. That's why this is happening to you. The reason why you're feeling what you're feeling right now, because it's all you, right? But you have to transform. You have to shift. What does that look like? Deleting all that stuff. Delete all the things that you've gone through. It's no longer relevant. You don't need it. What you need now is to come out of fear and be bold. Okay, so this week is preparing you for your boldness. For the next 18 to 20 years, you're going to have to live bold. You're going to have to be not afraid to live in this new dynamic, to live in this 6D reality, which is, you know that your gut is guiding you. Spirit is telling y'all what to do. Why are you ignoring it? You're ignoring it because you are already conditioned to ignore yourself. So that is leaving. You no longer have access to that anymore. After this week, you can't even access that part of you anymore. You hear what I'm saying? So that punch, when you feel it, is going to be to let go. Take a deep breath. Let that shit out. Release it. Because from this point moving forward, you are in a new dimension. And this dimension is going to hold you responsible to all the stuff that y'all signed on that contract. When you said, okay, send me on back, there was a list of things that you signed and said yes to. All those things are coming up for you now. You're going to have to do them. You can no longer procrastinate on those things. Okay? So gifts, talents, words, vibration, all of that stuff, you got to say it. Okay? So Are y'all clear on what it is that y'all have to study for your Pluto placements?
Now, I'm clear, but I do got a question because my placement always makes me confused.
Yeah.
I have Pluto in the 11th house, which is
Yep.
Aquarius, but in retrograde. And so from what I read online, it's like the people manipulate me. And the other thing that's also coming online during this time is like how you were telling, I think maybe it's Marla, who's also a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about the discipline, I've been wanting to like work with a professional dom, like, and just get into the subspace as a symbol or to ground this discipline I'm trying to do for myself. So like allow somebody in this physical world to just hold that for me.
Ain't gonna work.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
No, it's not gonna work. That Taurus in you wants to give that. One thing about Taurus energy is sometimes y'all trust other people's intuition more than you trust your own. Okay. So even you saying, I want to get a dom to help me to discipline is what I'm talking about. It can't come from somebody else. It's got to come from you. It's you doing it. The 11th house manipulation thing, you know how I am about the internet and how they write. I feel like the internet always writes astrology in fear. It's always like, ooh, it's this is what's happening. Having it in the 11th house means that you need to watch when it comes down to what you do for your friend's perspective and why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So the manipulation can't happen if you know you're leading in intention. Okay. So this is about intention, how you make the steps. What are you doing and why you are doing it? Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I like that you said that because now that I'm in a space where I'm placed in my life where I'm holding space for more people.
Yes.
The universe is kind of asking me to be quiet.
Yep.
Because even though I can see the end result, my business is about allowing people to see themselves, hear their own voice, and to be encouraged by the God in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the universe is like, you can't talk so much.
Yes.
You just kind of got to hold the line
Mm-hmm.
for them to see, because I feel like whenever I start talking, I'm trying to lead them somewhere. Mm-hmm. And that kind of is like manipulation.
Yes.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes. The manipulation is not other people, it's you and how you're manipulating the energy. So it's about you again. You gotta, one thing that's gonna help you with that is understanding that when it comes down to your own discipline, the more disciplined you become as it relates to your gifts and talents and how you are moving through these things, the easier it's going to be for you to hold space and not overdo. Okay, because when you overdo, that's exactly what you're doing, trying to manipulate the energy. And that's not what you're doing when you are bringing people in. You are the ground. Okay, you are grounding. The ground is just what it is. It don't have to talk. It's just like, hey, I'm a whole space for you. You know what I'm saying? When you start to get into that overly talking perspective, that's when you're going to lose it. You're going to lose yourself, because when we get too talkative, what aspects rule talking? What aspects of that?
A Gemini.
Come on. And what does Gemini have a problem with doing sometimes? When it's over talking, it loses itself. It's a chameleon. So sometimes when it talks too much, it don't know what it's talking about no more. It's just all over the place at that point. You know what I'm saying? So understand that when you are making these moves and you're doing certain things, you have to be disciplined so you can understand your intention, and the rest will take care of itself. Okay.
And that's the lesson I've been trying to learn. So me and Candace, I actually got to sit for her for a journey 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so we're hosting a thing in Atlanta on a group journey on the
tea ceremony.
Which is about,
I watch everything. You don't have to be Candy. I know what's going on. I'm watching everything, baby.
Yes, because Candace is into tea work. So and so I've been kind of getting nervous, and like as people are coming to me to be like, have an intake call, I'm trying not to manipulate the energy, because I'm afraid that they're not going to want to show up just because I'm not providing enough, and to just be like, the universe is like, look, if you call them, they'll come. Meaning like, put it out, put yourself out there. The person who's meant to receive it is going to receive it, and they're going to show up.
Yes.
Your concern isn't who shows up. Your concern and your focus is to just put it out. You need to keep giving birth, pushing.
Yes.
And then whatever's meant for the people will show up. And then in the ceremony, the same thing will happen. me and Candace, we have an intention. We have created some little things.
Yes.
But the energy is going to show up and be that energy. And I guess I need to just discipline myself to be more trusting.
Yes. You have to, that's with yourself. More trusting with you. It ain't about the people that's showing up. It got nothing to do with them. It's all about you, what you are doing for you. So the more, again, that's why I said discipline for you, intention for you. And then as people come in, part of the thing that you need to do is ask them what their intention is, right? If you just ask them what their intention is, that automatically gets out of the space of you feeling like you have to coach them into that, because you ain't there to coach them. The medicine is going to do that on its own, right? Your job ain't that. Your job is to be an example and hold space. Again, you are the ground. Be the ground. Set the intention of, I want to make sure that people are safe in this space to see themselves, because that's what you just said. That's what you just said your intention was.
And that's literally, I got here because I went to Wild Women Worship. And that's exactly what happened to me. And then the universe was like, exactly, because this is what the fuck you need to do. That's why the Aries come first, to show you who the fuck you are. and
that's why we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep showing up as uncomfortable as it is. Okay. I make people uncomfortable constantly. That was one of my biggest things in life. You know what I'm saying? Being afraid that if I say something, that I'm not going to have friends. I'm not going to have support systems around me. But now I realize my job is initiating, right? I have to initiate, right? I used to get upset sometimes because I wanted people to stay. And the universe said, well, Gigi, if they stay, how other people going to come in? I was like, oh, I never thought about that. I thought I just had a limited capacity where everybody could just keep coming and I could just, no, bitch, that's not how this works, okay? Activate, initiate, and then let people go out and do the work that they have to do, so that now the next group can come in. I can activate, initiate, and let them go out. So now this is how my community is growing, because I'm doing what I have to do. You are doing the work that you have to do because of Wild Women Worship. That was part of my initiation and activation. That's it.
And how that translates to me is the initiation, activation turned me on so I can enjoy my resources and live a good life.
Come on, continue. I call it the continuator, baby. You're a continuator, okay? So we all have a role to play in this. But if we try to do too much, right, you get overwhelmed. You get overthrown. Now you withdrawing. Now you scared. What comes out of it when we do too much? The fears, okay? Because the Pluto is the fear place. So when you are you're trying to support everybody else and not support your intuition. Scorpio/Pluto is also the intuition. It's the occult, right? What does the occult teach you? It teaches you that you already got this already inside of you. It's already there. So we're not giving people anything. I didn't give you anything at Wild Women Worship. All I did was did what Spirit told me to do, which was create the container, put the things out there for y'all to grab onto. And from that point, it was going to grow like a flower. It showed me the flower growing. And I was just like, that flower getting big. Is that what's going on? It's like, don't worry about that. See, now you are already projecting yourself way beyond what it needs to be. I'm showing you an example of how this is going to grow. Because I saw the flower and it was just budding off into other things, almost like mushrooms do. It was just budding off and just growing into, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold that and contain it. It's like, see, again, you're doing too much. Let it go. All I need you to do is set the precedent, set the intention of what it is that you know Spirit is putting in your womb to do, and the rest is going to take care of itself. And it's the same for y'all. Y'all are all initiators in things, because you're here. You're here because you are here to initiate a lot of things, but not without initiating in yourself first. Okay, you can't do nothing for nobody. Stop trying to do stuff for other people when you are 30% or less on your own self. When you can give yourself 100% of discipline and structure and intention and process, and studying. When you can do that, the people are going to show up that is there to support that dream, support those things, and also help you so that you don't have to run yourself crazy. It's going to show up. But what we're trying to do is all do it all at once. It's not going to work that way. You understand what I'm saying? So use this example of why AI is existing, because you are not supposed to do it all. Okay, you're not supposed. For how many years did we say, I'm tired of all this marketing and stuff. I can't be the marketing person. I don't know how to go on there and do all this. Well, now we got all the tools and resources. So what are we scared about now? Now you scared that a robot is gonna be in your house when you already got them. What y'all think this computer is that we talking on? That's a robot. You got robots in your house. Okay, you've been having them there. Okay, so understand that this is the next process of it. Now you can go and sit and decide what needs to be done. What I want y'all to do tonight, okay, tonight, tomorrow, this week, I want y'all to make a full detailed list of all the things that you need and desire in your now. Okay, I didn't say what you needed when you was 5 or 6 or 7. I didn't say that. Right now, what do you need and desire the most right now? Okay, if you did not know, again, your needs and your desires, the words and those vibrations come through our placements of our fixed energy. Okay, so the Aquarius, aka Pluto and Aquarius, that's the conversation. The polar opposite to Aquarius is Leo, and Taurus and Scorpio is our north node and our south node right now. Okay, so all of this need and desire conversation that you're having and you're writing down, this is what's going to help us set the intention. This is what's going to help you move forward in the discipline and all the processes that you need. Okay, after you finish that list, and I don't care how long the list is, I want you to keep writing until you get tired and blue in the face. Don't tell yourself, I think this is too much. No, it's not. We got 20 years to work on this stuff. Okay, so ain't no such thing as being too much. Everything that you need and desire right now, write it down. As soon as you're done with that, then I want you to get another list, okay? And on that, I want you to write down all the things that you are willing to sacrifice and do to get it. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up to ensure that all those needs and desires that you need to come through, what you willing to do? The very first question, very first answer should be to be myself. That's the number one answer. I'm willing to be in my truth and live and walk and breathe in my truth. Okay, I'm willing to give up all of the distractions that I have been using to tell myself that I don't know why it's not here yet. Your distractions is why it's not here yet. Okay, so what are you willing to do to make these things happen? Because whatever it is, whatever that, and I want you to make a list too. I don't want you to have that want, needs, and desire list be 40 pages, and then when it comes down to what you got to sacrifice and do, you got one line. No, baby, put it all down. What are you willing to give up? If I told you that everything that you wanted, everything that you needed and desire, you can have in 1 week, what would you be willing to do? If that's $1 million, and I say, oh, you can have that $1 million in a week, what would you be willing to do? Because you got stuff to do, okay? You don't have time for distractions. You don't have time to be constantly worried about what the internet arguing about, okay? The internet is, this could be a distraction. It could be a tool or it could be a distraction. You're going to either use it for one or the other. Which one are you doing? Okay? If you want to know where the action lies in your cardinal placements. The Aries, moon and Aries, okay? To the Libra, okay? To the Capricorn, to the Cancer. I'm about to take my brother to the airport. Thank you. I will talk to you later because this is so. Yes, ma'am. You already know. Text me, call me. I love you. Tell your brother. Okay? Hit me up. All right? So, again, those action placements, Aries is the action. That 0 degree of that new moon is happening on the 21st. That's the action. If you want to know where your action gonna come from, it's coming in the day after tomorrow. The action is already here. So all you gotta do is say yes to it, especially those of you that got strong Aries placements. Strong Aries placements mean Mars and Aries, Aries rising, Aries sun. You know what I'm saying? Aries in your 6th house, all this Aries, you got Aries strong in your placements. Understand that it's not gonna let you rest, especially if you got Aries rising. It's going to irritate the hell out of you until you make a move. You understand what I'm saying? Sun Aries, yes, same way. Mars, Aries, Mercury, all that. Aries placement is here to push you into that space, okay? These transits, this fixed and cardinal energy, we're going to be dealing with for a minute. So we're not letting this up, okay? This is the start of this stuff, but understand that this is you in a new life. Y'all are, this is a newness. If y'all hadn't felt that already, you need to, again, after tonight, when you get through doing this part of the homework, when you wake up tomorrow, you need to say, universe, I'm ready for the newness. So it can go ahead and hit you in your head. Why did I say head? Aries rule the head. Aries in your 7th house. Yes, ma'am. Relationships, the balance of that. Okay. So meaning that that's a strong placement because it's relationship dynamics. If you don't have that if you're not balancing out and using that Aries in the 7th house, it's going to throw you, okay? It's coming to help you to see that you got to give yourself the energy. You got to put it into you. Once you put it into you, then you can give it to everybody else, okay? Any questions? Man, look, I done fasting. Come on. And I saw you fasting. I was like, oh, Monique over there fasting. I know she's serious. She's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm just gonna cut the food out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're serious about yourself. Okay. When you say, again, y'all know I love cannabis. I hadn't had cannabis in a minute. I just said, you know what? Let me go ahead and ease that out. I'm gonna just start cutting off the little things that I felt like that have been getting in my way for a minute, just to see if it's been a crutch or if it's been helping me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think anything wrong with cannabis. I am a cannabis connoisseur and a cannabis advocate. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta get disciplined. And discipline looks like cutting out things that you're even an advocate for. You feel what I'm saying? If it's getting in the way and it's preventing you from being structured, yeah, put it on pause. Okay, go back to it when you're ready. When you got some time to really say, okay, I'm gonna use this in structure. I'm gonna use this in discipline. Okay. Okay, Marla, I see your hand up.
Okay, I just want to speak on the discipline piece and also speak to what Comfort was saying in that. And what I also started doing was repeating the affirmation, I trust myself, because I had so many problems with trusting other people. And then I said, you know what? No, I trust myself first. And then the other people that are coming in now, I'm seeing that they're worthy of being with me because they're carrying out the things that I've asked them to do. And so I think it's important when we restructure ourselves, especially after being in the trauma phase for so long, we have to reaffirm that we trust ourselves. And I think everything else will fall into place after that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It starts with your words, okay? Because even sometimes when you're in your head, you'll have multiple thoughts, right? You'll have a thought of the right way, and then the fears will pop up, right? And when those things happen and you're going back and forth between yourself, sometimes your words, for whatever reason, what comes out your mouth is the negative. But I always tell people, to that side, there's always it's 50% that, but it's also 50% the other thing. So if you can be vocal in what the negative is or not thinking that it's going to make it, how about you also project the other side? How about you give yourself a balance? So when you say, shit, I'm scared, I don't know if that's going to happen, you can then come out and say, you know what? But this shit is going to be exactly how I need to be. I'm going to get everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to call out the fear and say it, you know, from your mouth, whatever's coming up. But it's also very important that you also give yourself the counterbalance. Give yourself the other side. Stop always leaning on the side that has been hurting your feelings for so long. We are conveniently love to rest on the fearful side, but we never look at the counter side of it. Put them both in place. Make sure that you acknowledge that you are a 360-degree individual of spirit, okay? Which means you have all possibilities in there, not just the negative ones, not just the bad ones. You got all of it in there. It's what you decide to call out. So yes, saying the words, building affirmations for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it there instilled in you yet, if you're not trusting yourself yet, then every day you should be saying, I trust myself. I trust what I'm doing. I trust the fact that I'm in alignment to what I need. I know the universe is showing up for me. You know what I'm saying? Put it in place and keep saying it, and don't stop saying it until before you know it, you're not even thinking about it. And it's just rolling off your tongue because you done put it in, you done said it so much to where now it becomes a mantra. You know what a mantra is? Something that eventually you start to say, but the mantras, it becomes a vibration to your body. Okay, the mantra is not just the words. The mantra is the vibration of it. Okay. You got it? All right. Any questions? Any other questions? Taju?
I'm good. I'm gonna watch the replay. It was a little it was a lot, so I know I'm gonna get a lot of answers. But Comfort's like a mini you, because she kind of like explained this the same way, but like hearing it again, it's like repetition. So like this has really been amazing. Like
Good.
and then the 80, like I'm going through it right now with like 80% of the people I know. I'm like holding on, but it's like it's becoming difficult. So like new communities, even this Zoom tonight was like very refreshing, and yeah, I'll be calling you. Thank you.
We got you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that you said she's a mini me, because I have been, listen, I've been working with this girl. Do you understand me? I have been working. I have been putting it in. I've been pulling her back. Be like, don't do that. Don't do, no. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to hear that, you know what I'm saying? And happy to know that she's out here, you know, showing the work that she's done, right? The work that we put in, because she trusts me. And she can tell you, when she came to me, she was just throwing up all over the place. She blah, 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 blah. It was just coming up out. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So through her own work and her own discipline, you know what I'm saying? She's able to help so many people. And this is what I want y'all all to do. I want everybody to be out here talking about what it is that you are doing for yourself, the work that you're doing. And all it's going to do is help people. Again, we are a community. This is our job. We chose this time period to do this and be this for each other. So we don't got time to get tired and don't want to do it.
I told her she should add this to her brand, but she said she doesn't want the stress of it.
That's okay. I'll work on that part of it too. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Know what? It's the manipulating the energy, because I'd be like, look, it's because the Mars and Gemini, you don't got ADHD. You need to make a list, okay? So when Marla, I was clapping for Marla when she was like, oh, I just made time blocks. I'm like, that's the ADHD medication for the Mars and Gemini people. Yeah. That's what we need. Just give me, submit myself to 20 minutes of putting these clothes away, and then I can think about whatever the fuck I want to think about.
That's it. That's it. Because you're going to slip off anyway. Trust me. That Gemini brain ain't going to stay in that spot regardless of what you try to do. It's going to be like, you'll be sitting there going good. Then your mind be like, it'd be great if we just had a piece of pie. And then you go on to now the pie time. So you're not going to be able to stay there anyway. But if you at least, that's why even setting a timer, right? With that time block, you know, putting a time in place, you know what I'm saying? So even if you try to jump, you be like, oh, hold on. The time ain't time yet. You know what I'm saying? But putting tools in place, that's all we have to do. Put the tools in place, keep working the tools, keep using the tools. And I promise y'all, listen, I am 14 years into this. Okay. I didn't even start coaching until it was 2 years after I had just completely ran myself crazy with the doggone, with this astrology and studying, doing all this kind of stuff. I was doing everything, okay? And decided to say, you know what? Now I'm gonna start talking about it, because people are coming to me now about it. So now you got to say something. So talk about it. The more you talk about your placements to people, guess what that's doing? Training you. You're training yourself. The more you talk about what you're working on in your life and even your difficulties. Don't be afraid to talk about your difficulties. We ain't got all that shit together. If you think that we are in here on this call and everybody's 100% on the line, then you are in the wrong place, because that's not the type of community this is. This is the truth. And the truth is, we're going to have difficulties, but we're not going to stay stuck in those difficulties. We're not going to allow distractions to keep telling us that we can't have the things that the universe has already promised. We've already been promised these things. That's why you came. You came because you knew it was a promise. But the thing is, you have to do what needs to be done in order to get there. That's it. Promise you. Okay? That's one thing. Listen, I ain't going to let myself down. So that means when I'm talking to y'all, it's just an automatic, because I'm talking to myself. Every single person on here is a reflection of me. So when all y'all are aspects that's in my chart, okay? Every last one of you is aspects in my chart. So when we are talking, understand that I am the Aries in your chart. I am your moon in Aries. Okay, I am your North Node getting ready to turn into your, that's what I am. I'm the representation of that. I'm here to make sure that I push you. So I push myself so that we can get to where we need to go. That's it. The end. So do your study. Don't forget to do your list tonight. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't do it tonight, you can do it on the 21st. I just want y'all to make sure that you do it before Thursday. Okay. Before Thursday, get your list in on what you need and desire. And also get that list done on what you're willing to do. What are you willing to give up at this time period and be disciplined and structured to make sure that you have everything that y'all want this year? Because this is the year to have it. I don't care what it look like. I don't care what you don't have currently in your pocketbook or in your bank or at your house. I don't care about that. Because what I can guarantee you is this is the year that all of it's going to come out. All of it. But it means that you have to do some work. You got to do a little bit. Okay. Come on, Marla. I'm open to receive everything that I need, want, and desire in this now, baby. I'm going to add that on the end of it. In this now. Okay. Not yesteryear, not 10 years from now, right now. Okay. Now, the answer is, do you believe? Put that in. Do you believe that you can have all the things that you want, need, and desire in this now? Put a yes in the chat. And if it ain't a yes, then don't put it in the chat. Put it in whatever the feeling that's coming up. Come on. Yes, yes, yeses. Nothing but yeses. I'm missing some. It's 11
Gigi.
people in here. I don't see 11 yeses. I need to see some a yes or something. Okay. That's what I like. Come on. Give me some more. I'm still missing some.
Hey, Gigi, I know Andrea has her hand up, but I want to share this with the group because I think it's important.
Okay, come on.
This week, I was talking with a friend and we were talking about expecting miracles daily. Like every day I expect a miracle.
Yes.
When I started to profess that, when I tell you things opened up so wide in just 3 days, I got a title sponsor for my business launch coming up in May. And I was stressing before that about how I was going to pay for the venue. And this title sponsor is covering that cost.
Come on now. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to share my own testimony. Okay. For the last 5 years, I have not struggled with a dime. Okay. I've had everything I wanted, everything I needed until this year. Until February. Okay. February this year. Well, things started dwindling, okay? And I was just like, what the hell is happening? So for like 5 seconds, I started playing. I started having functions. I was just like, what's happening? I felt a little bit of that old Gigi trying to creep. I was like, bitch, what you doing? So I just sat one day and I let the old me come out, right? I let all the tears and all the emotional things, because the old me would get into a depressive slump of like, I do all this for everybody, and all the words. You could make them up, put whatever in you want to put. I let all that come out, and then after I got done, I say, "Is you done?" I said this to myself. I said, "Are you done? Are you done?" So then I started crying. After I got through crying, I said, "Are you done?" I let it all come out. I said, "Now what is about to happen?" And I had to answer in them tears. Everything I need is going to show up because it always has and it always will. What I need, because understand that I have a daughter in college that I'm paying for college out of my pocket, y'all. I'm paying for her entire ride. I don't want her to have student loans and that kind of stuff. I don't want her to have the debt that I had. So in order for me to do that, I'm affording this, right? And I told myself and her that I'm doing this. So if that's what I said, that's what the fuck is gonna happen. So I had $22 in my account that day that I was crying. The day I was throwing up energy. It's funny now, you know what I'm saying? What's funny then? Because I was over here going through it. I was just like, I didn't know how I'm gonna keep my paradise and keep my daughter. I'm going through it, right? But after I affirmed, let all that stuff out of me, because obviously I still had some things to release in myself. I was 2 days from having to pay rent to take care of her stuff, because my stuff was already taken care of at the time. I still had them $22. And I was like, okay, universe, I'm about to cave in. Can you please help me? What's happening? What's happening here? Universe, like the moment because you're saying that you're gonna have what you need, but there's still something in there that's doubting. You have a little doubt up in there. So I'm gonna push you to the panic until you break that, right? It was the day of, rent is due on this day. All of a sudden, ding, that's that chime that come through. That I know money is there. Because I kept saying, I was like, it's here. The money's already there. I already got the money. I even went on there, wrote a little thing. You know how they tell you to write checks and write stuff. I went on there, wrote paid to order to the apartment. I did all the tools because I had to pull all of them out. And then after I did that, the last thing before the money hit, I had to let it go. I had to see that it was already done. I had to let that energy out of me. And that's when it ding, hit. I was like, oh, okay. See how the baby clapping for me? See the baby. That's what I'm saying. It was a trust of knowing that it was already, thank you, baby. I see, because the kids be knowing, okay? They are very psychic, okay? They already know what be going on. But it's that belief. So trust me when I say, I'm going through this with y'all. I am not exempt from this. I still have to go through it, have to process it. I still have to test myself and test my belief. If what I say is real, I have to put myself out there to do that. You feel what I'm saying? So trust me, it's being done. I already got it. And of course, right after that, because I had the exact money to pay, but I was like, am I gonna have money to pay my rent? Is my stuff gonna come through now? What the universe like? I'm tired of you. I'm real tired. Remember, cover. I said that thing that video to you and be like, did she hear? Did she hear what we just said? That was me. I was like, okay, I got it. I'm back in alignment to myself. Okay, spring is here. I'm ready. Okay, all full speed ahead because I know this is also allowing me to create. Okay, when you feel like you get into a point or into a space where you feel like things are all over the place and you're not sure where things are coming from, create. Just create. I promise you, go do something creative because the creation or the same thing that we like to do when it comes down to plants and we like plants because we like to watch them grow. Well, you know why that is? Because you're putting your energy into it. Your energy is what's allowing it to grow. It's no different than the creativity. When you go and take a blank sheet of paper or a blank canvas and create something, you just watch something grow. So you have to make that a practice. Watch yourself grow. Put yourself into a space and watch you grow. And I promise you, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. Ooh, hallelujah. It's comfortable at first. But right after you get through that uncomfort, everything shows up. Okay? Her big three is, she had all three Geminis. Sun, moon, and rising. Wow. Come on now. That's Miss Creative. She is the creative. If I don't know a creative child, that is one right there. Do you hear me? So let her just, again. And then that Mars and Gemini that she represents, come on. Again, this is all universe showing up. Just to confirm. So I love y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. If y'all got any questions, now is the time before we wrap up, because this is the wrap up.
Andrea had her hand up.
Come on. Come on, Dre.
No, because it's going to take too long. And I know people got to go.
They can leave. They know how to leave when it's time to go. Why are you worried about them?
We ain't going nowhere. Just say it.
Hush
they know how to leave when it's time for them to go. You need to say what needs to be said.
All right, I'm going to say it. So for someone that spends probably 90% of the time by herself, how the fuck do I feel like I'm two different people? How do I feel disconnected from myself if I spend so much time by myself?
Is that a question for me to answer or for you to answer?
Both, but I want to hear your take.
Well, because again, the fear, right? You already called that out. It's the fear of not trusting yourself. So again, sometimes we need to find out where your, what did you say you had in Gemini? Where did Leslie go?
Gemini?
I'm still here.
What is she? Well, y'all had something that y'all was talking about earlier that was the same.
Oh no, because we both got Pluto and Libra in the 7th house.
You know what do you know what the 7th house is?
I don't remember.
Relationships.
Oh, well, yeah, you said that.
You know what Libra is?
What, balancing in relationships?
Yeah. You know who the first relationship energy is?
Myself.
Oh, come on, hallelujah. So I don't have to answer this for you.
What Leslie say?
Listen, what you say?
Already know. You know.
I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't get it. I don't know.
You don't get it because you don't want to get it.
Okay, so what do I do to reconnect, to not be detached?
To say, I want to connect. I don't want to be detached. I am connected to my other self. I'm no longer disconnected from the person who's here to help me. She is here to help me and I'm ready for the help. So I'm embracing her fully. I'm no longer looking at her as somebody who I don't want to fuck with and being disgusted by her. Every time she show up, I'm looking at her like, I don't want you to be here. That's the thing.
Because she always like.
Come on. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it. What she always do?
She always is sending me into like this tailspin of fucking, I don't know, confusion, abyss, darkness, depression, all the shit that I don't want to feel.
Why don't you want to feel it?
Because it doesn't feel good.
So? It ain't. Do you think life is supposed to always feel good?
No, I don't, but it ain't supposed to feel like that.
Yes, it is. That's a lie. You just see, that's a lie you're telling yourself. It is supposed to feel like that. You know why it's supposed to feel like that? You know what's in there? You know what's in that dark space that you are running from?
Me.
Yes. You know what else is in there along with you? The creative energy that you're supposed to use to birth this shit that you have to show us. It's not gonna come out as long as you don't. If you keep running from her, you're never gonna show it. You're never gonna get it out. And you're supposed to show it. So it is supposed to feel like that. Do you know when you listen to some of the music that you listen to, how that music got here? Do you know how it got here? In the darkness of the shit that you don't want to face. You have to face it. Because in that space, it's getting it out. But if you never go there, you keep hovering on top of her. You keep doing this. You know, I don't know where she at. I don't even know how to get there. I don't even want to. It's here. Go into the darkness. Allow yourself to go there and purge and use it.
Better play you some DMX, goddammit.
Come on. DMX, Kendrick Lamar is a master at using his darkness. That nigga stays in his darkness.
I do. I'm just, there's that word again. Fear of getting stuck there.
Yes, because you keep putting the barrier up.
You know, I could go to some pretty dark spaces and not give a fuck and not want to be rescued. And I don't know.
You need to go. You need to go to the dark space. Go to the dark space, Drea. Go to the dark side. Dark Vader, that bitch. Okay. What'd you say, Risha? Say it again.
I said, can I say something to her real quick?
Of course you can.
Okay, so Andrea, I can relate, but until you get comfortable with that and really work through that, you're not going to be able to believe or trust what you hear yourself saying to you, because we've been conditioned to feel like bad feelings or whatever we consider to be bad, our dark or shadow side, is not good, is not conducive to our growth. But the truth is it all works together. Like Gigi said earlier, the devil is in you. That's you. That's something you have to conquer to get to that next space. And that's what that's what everybody here is doing or has already done.
And that is you. That's who you are. That's why you can hear it so clearly, but it sounds outside of yourself because you can't believe that you can work through that, because you are both essentially, and you have to master that. And that's what she's teaching us. That's what our chart teaches you. Everything is in that chart. So it's okay to feel that way. Just push through, sis. It's there. You hear it. Just push through.
And know that we all in this shit with you. Know that we all have to also face darkness. That was my whole story was just about. The fact that I had, for 5 years, I have been comfortable with my financial situations of not worrying about shit. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the shit changed. You think that was something that just all of a sudden just happened? No, it was something I needed to face inside of myself because my fear, I've been broke. And that fear of going back to that space was somewhere I did not want to go. But it wasn't until I let myself sob and cry and complain about me being things for people and people not sure. All the shit that was bullshit. It was all bullshit, but it was bullshit I needed to say. It was all things I needed to get up out of me, because that's what the darkness is. The darkness is those things that you keep having that are hung up in your experiences. It's there. So you have to use it. You can't just let it sit there and ignore it, because ignoring it is going to eventually drag you down there anyway. But it's going to drag you down there and uncomfortable. It's going to be an uncomfortable stuff. It's going to drag you in a way that you don't want to be there.
I don't necessarily ignore it. I can't ignore it. Like it's like she's on my shoulder almost, in my ear, you know.
When I mean ignore it, I mean if you don't go there, you are ignoring it.
I use her sometimes.
Oh. Okay. Well, that means you don't have a problem then.
Tell her where your Lilith is.
Oh.
Tell her where your Lilith is.
Oh, in Libra.
You know what else?
She knew that, Marla. Yeah. She already knew that.
It's no different. She already know this. I'm gonna tell you what part of her issue is her Mars and Taurus. That's what it is. Her Mars and Taurus gets in the way of not wanting to make the move. It just gets fixed and stuck. I'm just stuck. And you know how I know this? Because my child has Mars and Taurus. And just last week, I had to jump up and down on her ass. I had to wow. And when I got through, she's sending me videos, motivational videos on how she's motivating herself. So it's okay. I told Drea she's my bigger child. She's London, all like through and through. She's London, but just the fact that she didn't come out of my vagina. That's the only difference. So she'll be fine. Because trust me, one thing I know about her and London, when they don't face themselves, the universe dragged them in there anyway. So she'll be fine. She'll get dragged into that space.
I'm getting there.
But what Risha said is absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? It's the spaces of understanding that we are the light in the dark. The astrology shows us this every month. Every month when you have a full moon and you have that full moon is in the polar opposite of the sun. So meaning that we're moving into the sun sign of Aries, we're going to have the full moon in Libra. That is the light. The light is Aries, the dark is Libra. So this Libra stuff conversation we're having, everybody who got the Libra vibration and dealing with Pluto on Libra, guess what we finna deal with when the full moon go into Libra? You finna get another opportunity. So it's okay, because this whole entire from now until July, you're gonna be worked. That one thing I know for sure. So you're gonna be texting me and calling me a lot. So it's okay. It's all right. So get used to it. Get used to the space that you're in, and get used to the fact that you're gonna have to face her and tell her, yes, you're ready. You're gonna have to do it. You no longer have any more time. Your time is up. If you think you can procrastinate on her any longer, sorry, that's not gonna happen. But thank you for sharing.
And that's why I put my hand down.
It don't matter, because the community saw you with your hand up. So everybody still called you out. It was like, oh, Drea had her hand up. So
yep, and we all sit here. Ain't nobody left either.
Everybody, the same people are still here that was here when you had your hands. No difference.
I love y'all.
We love you too. And we
We love you, Trey Day.
All right. So just know that this is going to be our process. Okay. We're going to have another class next month. We're going to have another class in dealing with the vibration of the Libra stuff and dealing with the eclipse stuff. We're going to talk about some more of what's coming down the pipeline. Okay. This is a good year for change. Understand that you are being changed. It's like representation, snake shedding its skin. When a snake sheds its skin, it has to scrub up against rocks and trees. And it's one of the most uncomfortable things for a snake to do, right? It's not an easy situation. But look how shiny and beautiful you look when you come out of it, baby. You're going to be shiny, okay? Buff that gold off. We're all gold. We're all diamonds under pressure, okay? But I love y'all. Thank y'all for riding in here with me. Y'all been in class almost 2.5 hours. That is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That means y'all are ready to do this thing. Study, study, study. You got any questions, right? After you go back to your homework, you go through your studying and doing all of that, shoot me an email, okay? Or hit me up on a DM or whatever. Gigi, I'm working on my homework. Blah, 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 blah. Can you help me with this? Give me an interpretation of this. So I need a little bit intuitive energy on what this means. You know what I'm saying? Reach out. Allow me to be a part of your community resource to help you with this, because that is the contract that I signed. Y'all all signed the contract. We all signed the contract together. Reach out, okay? Use your resources, use your community to keep you accountable. Use your community to keep you disciplined. Use your community to keep you structured, because that's what you're going to need. When you get that energy on Thursday that comes through, you are ready for it. Don't let this 3D world that's falling off trick you. Okay, don't let the old paradigm trick you in making you believe that you are not ready. Do not operate in fear. You got this. Don't let the devil win. And I'm talking about the devil in you. Okay, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.